All right. Here we go. Time for the AMG Cup grand finale. The last day of action here in this Clash Royale event sponsored by Aftershock Media Group. And let me tell you something, guys. I am super excited. Streaming today in a lot of places. So go ahead and wherever you're watching, enjoy yourselves. We're going to kick things off here in just a moment. For those of you guys playing along at home, DiegoE just took out Anaban in the final match of the round of 32, playing a little catch-up there. They were, but now we're moving on to the round of 16, and we are going all the way to the end, folks. So hope you guys are excited for a big day of Clash Royale. I know I am, and here we go. Hello and welcome. What's up, everybody? Rich Slayton here. It's going to be a fun one. I'm really pumped for it. And joining me today, at least for a while, we'll see how long he'll be here. But at least for a while to give some expert analysis and take a load off my voice after the crazy ones we've been doing lately. It's one of your favorites, one of the greats of all time, and the guy who innovated 2v2. Colton, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Can everybody hear Colton well enough? Hopefully you guys can. I hear him pretty well, so if you're in the chat, let me know if you can hear him well. It's going to be a fun one, guys. We have a crazy lineup. Check out the top 16. We're going to be going, like I said, from the top 16 all the way through to the grand final. $1,800 of the $2,000 overall prize pool on the line today. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be some fire gameplay. And if you're watching this on YouTube, this video will just be the top 16. And then I will have another video up for the top 8 and so on. So if you're watching on YouTube, here's the place to see this top 16 action, and hope you really do enjoy it. If you haven't yet, of course, go ahead, subscribe, like, all that stuff. Here we go, jumping into game number 1 of Reichert versus Viiper, the young German star up against one of the top out of France, 8.7K personal best for Viiper, and for Reichert, 8.4K, so no slouches on either side. Colton, I know a lot of people are going to be wanting to talk about it. We'll get to it during one of the breaks. But just to prep you on your thoughts, probably one of the biggest offseason signings since Tribe went and picked up a bunch of people last season. Your former 2v2 teammate Razor going to Liquid, announced maybe about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I saw that before we got into the matches. It's interesting. I assume that means they won't have 5. They're going to keep 4. I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll talk about that more later. For now, it's Reichert, the German, up against Viiper, but didn't get the memo, I guess, about the minor and rocket nerfs, running a minor rocket cycle with wall breakers.
Well, Viiper is the guy who, I believe, right? He's the hog. Rocket this is a very similar type deck, so it's a comfort thing.
Yeah, that's his direction, of course. You guys can see if you're just joining us that it's going to be ban on first loss, my favorite ban system. Ask nobody, but I said anyway. And
I like it quite a lot too.
Yeah, what do you like about? I'm similar. I like ban on first loss as my favorite system. Why do you like it, Colton?
I mean, it gives like it. So the best thing is if you don't want someone to play the same deck they played in the first game, because I think it's more interesting when people don't repeat decks. And that's a common way to ban is to ban one of the cards you just lost against. Or to ban away like one of their comforts before they get a chance to play it. So there's like more strategy in it. And it doesn't really give an advantage to the, unless the person is like a one trick, it doesn't give an advantage to the person that lost. But I like that it goes that way. And then both players get a chance to ban unless it's a sweep. So it's pretty fair, I think.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting, and it creates some strategic choices that I like a lot. And here we are, and thank you guys, everyone, throwing the follows up on Twitch now. I do finally have alerts up, so thank you guys very much for joining on the action. And for the guys over on the family chat, I see you there as well, and we'll be jumping into the chat more in between games. But today is all about high-level gameplay. Reichert running Royal Hogs with Rascals. Colton, you don't see Rascals a bunch these days.
Ooh, you don't. It's a weird variant of Royal Hogs. But the Viiper has such a good matchup here. With King Tower already activated as well. It should be good. That was a nice little play by Reichert. But this is gonna be very difficult for Reichert to get any damage at all, because you can see Royal Hogs is the only way for like direct damage, and Bomb Tower shuts it down. Iso's NATO shuts it down. He can rock it defensively as well. Yeah. But Reichert's playing this pretty well, honestly.
Yeah, good timing there on the push on the left-hand side, and just like that, the German does have the lead back. Hunter will only stop one of those, and that's the other hard part about this that we've seen so far, Colton, is Reichert, while he has a difficult chance on the offensive side trying to break through against so much splash damage, defensively, he has been really struggling to stop those wall breakers. One's been getting through pretty much every time.
Yeah, when there's a tank in front, like how does he stop it, right? He doesn't have roll delivery that one-shots it since that's been nerfed. And he has Bar Barrel, but Bar Barrel doesn't one-shot it. Like I think his best defensive sequence would be like Bar Barrel, Hill Spirit, but they're not always both in cycle. So it's very difficult when there's like either a miner or a Valk tanking the tower. And then if there's a Valk, he also has to distract it. So I think this is a very difficult matchup in more ways than one for him.
And there goes 6 for 8 on the right-hand side, but that rocket to the Fisherman and the Rascals now split for Reichert at the bridge. Bomb Tower picks it up. Heal Spirit work doing pretty well here for the German, though he is behind 12-12 to 14-30, and shockingly, maybe not so shocking. Oh, yeah, very nice NATO.
That was a nice NATO. I like that. And here's the rocket cycle. This is rough.
This is rough. We'll
and
see.
The early King Tower activation really hurt as well.
Yeah, I mean, the general consensus is that King Tower doesn't matter as much versus Royal Hogs as it does against like a Hog Rider or a Miner that you can see definitely taking a few pieces off.
But when you have something to pull it in the middle as well, it becomes much worse, I would say. Like with the Bomb Tower plus the King Tower activation. If there was no defense, I think it's not a big deal. But when a defense and a NATO, it makes it a lot harder, I would say.
Hunter misses the pickup on the Miner for Reichert. This should be a GG. A nice NATO to pull that back. Reichert trying to cycle here at the end, can't get it done. Viiper, the Frenchman, winning game number 1. And those of you asking in the chat right now, who's on the call with me? One of the greats to do the game, Colton, on the call. So we'll get a little extra insight. You won't just have to hear me say what's happening anymore. We'll get some top-tier insight from one of the top guys, and there we go. Well, remember, this is ban on first loss. We'll see if Reichert chooses to ban or save. You can hold on to your ban, and we've seen that a lot in this tournament, Colton. Reichert not doing that, banning skeletons, but you know, having you on the call right now, especially in a best of 5, what's the reasoning, what's the thought process behind holding on to your ban rather than choosing it when you actually do get your first loss?
Maybe a pride thing in some ways, or you just don't care, or there's nothing you specifically want to ban, or maybe like a card that he uses is something that you're also comfortable with.
That's a possibility.
Maybe you don't want to narrow the deck choices.
So here we go. Let's jump into our next one. Of course, this whole tournament's sponsored by AMG, Aftershock Media Group, supporting a lot of content creators in the mobile esports space. Thanks again for the follow there over on Twitch.
Log bait and bridge. No, it's bridge ban, but it's like Ram Rider probably. Yeah, so it's classic log bait. Oh yeah, Ram Rider.
Yeah, Battle Ram and Cannon Cart goes to the right-hand side.
That was a good log. Took one cannon shot, but he knocked it off without having to waste more elixir. I think it's Viper's deck pool is like a really cool one because it's a mix between like classic decks so far and what he's comfortable with. So which is also a classic deck because he usually plays like Executioner Hog NATO. So he played like a variant of that that's more viable in the current meta. I guess it was more viable last meta, but it obviously worked in the last matchup.
Bar Barrel in response. You know, a lot of people, Colton, there's sort of debate here. Do you think that the nerf to the range of the log hurts log bait more because of the range reduction, or benefits it because it's harder to impossible to log both the Goblin Barrel and the Princess?
That specific interaction I don't think is a big deal because previously if a Princess is at the bridge, if you just threw your Gob Barrel one tile back, it couldn't hit both anyway. So I don't think that interaction matters too much, but I also don't even feel like it's not a very significant nerf, so I think it's kind of inconsequential. Oh. Maybe it helps more because every now and then when they try to hit 2 things, like a Goblin Gang more often, I guess. Ooh, that hurts.
Raged up Cannon Cart does go through. Heal Spirit keeps it on its wheels for a little bit longer. Damage on the left-hand side, 1866. Good log again, though, from Viiper to get that cannon out of range, and now barrel down on the right-hand side. Final minute remaining, and easily catch up with the bar barrel on the right-hand lane.
So I guess we'll. I guess I'll have to see more, but to me it seems like I don't even notice a difference, honestly, from what I've been seeing. How do you feel about it?
Well, I think that mixing the range nerf with the damage nerf together, I mean, I guess there's a balance theory, and I've mentioned it on stream many times, of good balance changes should disrupt the meta rather than balance the meta. There's a strong philosophy that makes a more interesting game rather than trying to get the game to a perfect position. But it does seem like nerfing both the damage and the range might be a lot. I don't know. I mean, for me,
but it was. Are you talking about like the tower damage nerf? But that's the every spell too, right? So does that count really?
Yeah, I guess it's sort of a 50-50 on that one.
And I personally like. I see that as a bigger nerf to play styles like spell cycle and well, not like spell. What would you call it? Like NATO spell decks, and then like Expo. To me, that's the biggest hurt. But I dislike that playstyle, so I like that part of the changes. I didn't think the log range nerf was needed, but also you can see people are using it still on defense at the bridge, like against a Magic Archer, and still hitting tower, so it's not that big of a deal to me.
Good pick up there by Reichert on the right-hand side. Huge push put together. Lumberjack Cannon Cart. Log to push it back, but a nice timed Heal Spirit doesn't get there quite fast enough for the German, but his defense so far has been good against this log bait deck. Is forced to spend the fireball on defense, but 479 getting very close to Viper's right-hand tower.
Yeah, definitely the most effective pushes for Reichert are the ones that combines Cannon Cart with either Magic Archer or a Baby Dragon, or with Skeleton Dragons. Those are the most impactful pushes. He maybe could even go for well, no, he would need 3 fireballs, so no, he can't spell cycle.
Yeah, that does create a pretty big change in the math now.
Yeah. Also bar barrel. Can't hit tower, so.
And again,
ooh, this is gonna be difficult for Viper to defend. Magic Archer maybe? Wait, did he just push that?
That was a brilliant log out of Viper. Yeah. That Magic Archer was lined up perfectly. Prediction log out of Viper to stay alive here. But can he turn this back around? Some rocket cycle out of the Frenchman. Here we go, final 30 seconds. This is a live game, folks. Cannon Cart does not connect. Heal Spirit trying to hold it down. Cannon Cart goes down, fireball in, and there you go. The Skeleton Dragons get on tower. 41 HP, GG, well played. Reichert evens things out.
Yeah, it was really that rage that did it. The rage that was left by the Lumberjack at the bridge made the Skeleton Dragon lock on from the speed up.
Very, very nice log there out of Viper, but wasn't quite enough. But he made it interesting there at the end. Kept it pretty close. Sparky ban for Viper in this one. So we'll have that one on the board here in just a few minutes. Take a look at the chat here. A lot of people talking about the, and we'll get into this a little bit in the break between matches. A lot of people talking about the new sort of look overall at what Team Liquid will be. Of course, some speculation that SK Gaming has picked up a new player, and no word on who that is yet, but someone in the chat I saw earlier speculating that maybe it's Canario going to SK.
Really?
I don't buy it, but we'll see. I think Kana and EB7 are a little bit too closely knit, but I could be wrong. Who knows?
Well, I thought Canario was the one that Surge is the closest to as well.
Yeah. Zach CR saying it's Schwarzen in the chat, and that would be a pretty good pickup. Schwarzen certainly having one of the better 2020s of everyone not in CRL.
And he's German, so that makes the most sense to me, right? With your core being German as well. I guess there could be a little bit of an imbalance with, like, if they didn't keep Sergio, but...
Royal Giant in, Zap to just make a little bit of time, buy a little time there on defense. So RG Fisherman, but with the stab goblins as opposed to, I believe that usually has skeletons in that position.
Skeletons, yeah. And then Reichert is just playing a minor cycle wall breaker deck probably. Or it could be Loon.
Could be Loon. Yeah, not having something beefy, there you go.
Yep. As soon as I said it, I'm like, wait, I think it's good. Oh.
That makes us a little bit of a different matchup here, huh?
Yeah, Viper doesn't really have the best air defense. I mean, he has like, so I guess I would say he doesn't have. There's no pull, and his cycle is not the fastest. So I could see a balloon sneaking through eventually, and like it's 8 elixir defense to use anything plus fireball. There's no like snowball for like an easy slow, so it could be hard. But his offense is good, so seems like an offensive matchup, really.
Hey, how do you VIP someone on Twitch? Because a VIP just entered. Koji-san. Koji-san. Why did I put a san there? Koji-san in the building over on the Twitch side.
He's Japanese now.
I mean, I feel like he's been Japanese the whole time with the san, right?
Yeah, true.
Guys, I will throw the challenge bracket in chat here in just a moment. Let me go ahead and figure out where I put that. Boom. Now I got it.
Reichert's going to go for an aggressive cycle here. Yep. I like it. He outcycled defenses. Oh, the hunter came back, though.
Zap
That's
to reset.
Be a hit. Yeah. That was well played. But the defense is going to be hard now.
Very, very low. Does have the full fish go boom combination in the back. We'll see if Reichert can do anything about it. Hunter gets pulled into the back, and that's going to be a lot of problem. Tower down right-hand side. No, just barely survives it. But 330 puts that well within spell cycle range, even with the spell nurse. Here we go. Final 20 seconds. Can the German hold on here against Viper?
This is probably game, I think. He needs to go like balloon right now. Yeah, no. I don't think he should have defended there. I think you go balloon and try to take tower before time runs out.
But 4 HP is the fireball in cycle.
Is it calculated? No.
So Viper takes the lead 2-0 after 3. And so far it seems like it's been pretty solid matchup advantage one way or the other in this best of 5.
I guess maybe the log bait could have gone either way. But it was really hard to defend the cannon card plus splash troops, so maybe not. On the Royal API statistics, the Royal Hog deck actually had matchup, but I don't know if I would consider that the case. It was a pretty small sample size for that one, while like on this one there's a bigger sample size, and I definitely do think RG probably has matchup here because it's really hard for with that Fisherman RG push. There's like no real good defense for Reichert.
Hey, there's no alerts over on the family side, but UD lose. Thank you so much for the big sub coming on through. Hardcore. Really do appreciate that. All your support does go to help out with various Clash Royale esports events, both the BO5s that I have on my channel, tournaments like these ones when they are, and sometimes I have to chip in as well, or get to chip in as well. And then, of course, also with the open tournaments I host that you guys can compete in. So thanks very much, UD lose. Big time sub.
What's the score at now? It's 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, for Viper.
Viper up with match point here and looking like it might be GY.
It looked like Viper had a bad cycle. That could be really important damage. Viper almost certainly didn't have his defense or his NATO in hand.
So poison not common in Hog Rider, although this deck has been getting on a little bit lately.
Yeah, maybe he expected Graveyard with it not being shown yet in the bans. But yeah, that poison could make this more competitive. Previously, if he had Fireball, I thought this was probably a really bad matchup for him. But with poison, he may be able to win.
We'll see if Reichert's able to hold on. Big question. What is that? What is his last card in this deck?
It's got to be Mega Knight, I think.
Can they ban spells? Asked Peely in the family chat. And yes, Peely, they can ban spells. They can ban anything. But of course, the bans right now are Skeletons and Sparky. There you go. There's the Mega Knight. Hey, are you a pro at this or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Not anymore. But it's just when you see like, it's unusual on Hog, but when you see like no defense and you see like a Fisherman and a Hunter, that kind of lends to like a Mega Knight deck. Those are like Mega Knight support cards, I would say.
Hog gonna slide right on through, but NATO to King Tower, easy activation for Viper. And how much does that change the math in the long run?
I mean, you kind of. I mean, I knew that was what was going to happen. I mean, but early on, he got that 500 damage. I really think if Reichert ends up winning, it's because of the starting hand. That would play a big part because he didn't have NATO or his defense in hand. This should be competitive though because Reichert has poison for the graveyard. Otherwise, I think this would be very difficult for Reichert.
I am planning on once we get through some of these crazy tournaments, doing some BO5s on my channel. I didn't know this before, but you can actually set friendlies to be fixed starting hand inside the game. Yeah,
they added it a while ago, and then no one tried it, so we never ended up implementing it.
Well, I'll be doing some fixed starting hand matches on my channel to kind of get some test games and see how it goes in a competitive format. It'll be pretty fun. I'm excited.
I wonder. I don't remember. Is it just the first 4 cards you pick, or is it all 8? I think it's actually all 8.
It's all 8. That's even more crazy.
Yeah. I think I would prefer it to be only the first 4, but it doesn't make that big of a difference. It's probably better than not having it, though, I would think.
NATO no longer in cycle. Will this Hog be able to get the tower? Ice Wiz
that's
slowing it way down.
Ooh.
But it's the Mega Knight with a huge lead. Ewiz in support. Reichert looking like he's taking a big lead here. And with a minute 45 left, if he just doesn't get caught by a nasty graveyard push, this could be big for the German.
Oh, it didn't block. It ends up blocking. But what's the point of blocking if you're just going to poison anyway? He may have been scared that it was... Oh, wow, that fisherman connected.
Wow, that's absolutely huge. So now, going to take 2 poisons or a poison and 2 snowballs to finish off that right-hand side. I believe it's a poison and 2 snowballs. Then I'm trying to.
You're right.
Yeah.
Old poison snowball would have not been enough either. Right, because it's 216 plus 56 old.
Yeah, that would have been just shy as well. But I'm just wondering if the new one
so yeah, it should be poison 2 snowballs. Yeah, it's poison 2 snowballs.
Hog trying to sneak on through here. NATO should be in cycle.
NATO. This is somewhat threatening. He defensive poisons. The troops could get through. Nah, they should be fine. That's a good Hog. Makes him waste a bomb tower, and now he can't attack anymore. Oh, or NATO. Okay.
Hog nearly slides that shot through. Well timed by Viiper. Snowball cycle just to get a little bit more damage on that tower. Has to defend 1, probably 2 more graveyards at this stage.
What does a new poison do? Like exactly?
186, I think. Is that right?
Oh, so it was 2 damage short actually. Then, if you're right.
Well, not. Oh, I thought the Hog was...
Either way, he snowballed before that.
There we go. We're going to game number 5. And yes, 184 is the new poison damage, to be more precise.
Gotcha, so it would have been short. I like that, though. I like that it's harder to spell cycle at the end of the game.
I think it's more interesting as well. I certainly appreciate it.
It's more risky to spell cycle now because, like, it takes 1 extra spell, and 1 extra waste of 4 elixir can really mean you overcommit. So I quite like it. You have to be more calculated. You can't just start spell cycling 3 fireballs out and make it because of triple elixir and fast cycle.
Yeah, no, it definitely does create a higher risk factor, and you know the game is a little more interesting when there are troops on the board, in my opinion.
Yeah. I found this interesting. So you see matchup 7 out of 8 for Royale API because usually you would be running a fireball instead of a poison, so it says that it is graveyard's matchup. I think it becomes pretty even there with poison as the spell for the Hog player.
Interesting note there with some of these slightly off meta versions of decks.
Yeah, I mean, 1 spell can make all the difference. I mean, bringing poison against graveyard changes your matchup pretty drastically.
Yeah, Colton is is joining me on chat here for a little while, guys. Lending some insight into this great tournament, and this really has been a good month for Clash Royale esports overall.
Oof.
To the No Tilt World Championship and the AMG Cup and some other really fun stuff starting fairly soon. Not to mention, this weekend, this Saturday, Clash Royale League East kicks off on August 15th. So I'm pretty pumped about that one as well.
I assume this is RG.
Certainly looks like it.
Log bait, traditional log bait. That's a nice Goblin Gang split.
Pressure coming in on Viiper, maybe the...
Previously, Viiper had a really not solid defense. versus RG, but now with Inferno Tower, his defense is very solid. Like, the only thing that Reichert can really do to stop it from being easy is, like, Skeleton Dragons in the middle to block. But you can kind of play around that by switching up your position on Inferno Tower.
Thanks, Meatsos, for the follow. Do appreciate it. Here we go into the final minute of regulation approaching. Double elixir time, 15 seconds away, and Viiper currently ahead but not by a whole lot. Is this?
Why did he log?
Is this the Inferno Tower version that Viper's running here?
I guess he expected goblins. Yeah, that's what he ran earlier. I would expect it to be Inferno Tower. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't have it. See, look, you can see the preemptive. He's trying to block an Inferno Tower. Yeah, that's what I was saying with like switching up the placement. You can place it inside and they can't block it. And he has no zap. And Heal Spirit doesn't really matter against like exponential damage from the Inferno Tower, so his defense is pretty solid. That Fisherman snuck there and got some damage though.
And that's an excellent way to describe it, by the way. I don't think I've actually, that is the exact wording for it, but exponential damage, a perfect way to describe how that Inferno Tower or Dragon ramps up as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Pulsar Clash saying in the chat, Reichert should not play triple or RG till triple if he wants to win. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that makes sense, right? Like maybe you catch the log bait player trying to. Also, I like that Goblin Gang because no login cycle. Viiper, I wonder if Viiper and double and triple though, like he just outcycled log. I wonder if he can outcycle easier. But yeah, I mean maybe. You're definitely never breaking through at this point in the game, I wouldn't think, with RG. The defense is just so solid versus you with no way to disrupt the Inferno Tower, assuming you don't block it.
And this is
Viper's quick cycle.
And this is a very difficult deck. Oh, a nice pre-log there out of Reichert. That's going to be some big shots on the right-hand side. Lead goes back to the German with a minute 30 left. But
maybe now he can't defend this that well. Oh, the Hunter actually defended really well.
Perfect Hunter shot, 1291 to 1227. Minute 20 left. Reichert going to ignore the Princess in the right-hand lane and tries to get the block. Goblins do go ahead. That is absolutely massive. Fireball in. He might log behind this as well. Log comes out from the Frenchman. One shot in, two shots from the Royal Giant with the Heal Spirit. Absolutely massive. 574. The German putting on a gem here as we go into triple elixir.
That was insanely well played by Reichert. It's not over though. I don't think the Rocky player wins here if he spell cycles. I feel right because faster cycle.
Log down low.
I feel like he has to go RG.
And cycling fireballs.
But that's no, he's ahead. I don't know why Viper didn't try to go for another rocket.
The Heal Spirit goes all the way, and that's going to be the game for Reichert. Viper completely ignores the Heal Spirit. That puts it in fireball range, and that's a GG well played. Oh, my word. A little bit of a shocker there.
Yeah, no, that was Reichert deserved that win. That was so well played. That was amazing. That like 30-second sequence in double elixir was amazing by him. Like he played that exactly how I needed to.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Reichert with a big win in the round of 16 will move on to our quarter-final round. That's a big-time GG well played.
That was amazing. That was great both ways.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
What a great match to start it off with today.
I mean, it can't be understated how hard it is to play log bait in the current meta too. So it's not that Viper played bad at all, but that was really well played by Reichert.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. Let me go ahead and take a look at the getting our bracket ready for when we get into our next round. 1 second, folks. Doing all this stuff all by my lonesome. Here in the office, in the studio in Los Angeles. And let's see, how do I... Oh, I made that so not user-friendly. 1 second, and there we... What the heck did I do here? There we go. All right. So waiting on our next matchup, guys, and here is the overall bracket. You'll see Reichert going to move on past Viper. We'll face the winner of Morton versus DiegoE. Of course, DiegoE did win that previous matchup up against Anaban, the last of the round of 32 that was finally played earlier today. And coming up next, guys, this is going to be a good one. SergioRamos versus Schwarzen. And you've got some experience with both of these two players, Colton. It seems like Schwarzen is might be the player on the rise right now, and some speculation he's going to SK Gaming for this upcoming CRL West split.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea whether the rumors are whether he will end up going there. And I would assume that means someone else will be leaving, which presumably would be Sergio with his recent performances win rate wise and stuff.
So maybe this might be a
match.
contract match right here. Who knows? Maybe SK
Yeah.
is sitting there going, whoever wins this one gets the contract. Probably not, but it's fun to dream. The bracket just got linked in the chat, guys, if you want to play along at home.
I feel weird saying stuff like that as a former pro because I don't want to speculate on people's jobs, but as a fan.
It's certainly it's fun to think about, and here we go. SergioRamos up against Schwarzen or Schwarzen. I've been corrected occasionally on the exact pronunciation between these two.
I will say, in the first round, I'm really disappointed that RF and JupiterKing have to face each other in the first round.
Yeah, but it means we definitely get to see it, though. So that's, it's a 50-50.
That's true. As a viewer, but as like a pro perspective, I wish there was like seating that was more
yeah, I feel
accurate, I suppose. No matter what, it's going to be an amazing match, though. That is an aggressive start.
Very, very aggressive out of SergioRamos. Early
but no snowball in cycle for Schwarzen, so he has no way to get rid of these skeletons.
And that's going to be not quite tower down, but tower completely shredded.
Oh, the E-Wiz goes in front, too. Otherwise, the counter push, see how Elixir's nearly the same, but that's all on the board. If the E-Wiz had been behind the Mega Knight, it would have been a much more threatening push.
This Mega Knight should be well handled. Although Skeleton's going there early might not have been the call. Mega Knight does go down either way.
I really think like he would have gotten a lot of damage there if the E-Wiz wouldn't have gone in front. That was really unfortunate. That played out like perfectly for Sergio with how the Mega Knight jumped back onto the skeletons.
So here we go. First minute and a half away, and SergioRamos reads the room well, sees the snowball out of cycle, and punishes hard against the young German player.
It could have came down to cycle 2 because Schwarzen, I would assume, has poison. If he doesn't have poison, he has freeze. So maybe he didn't have poison in cycle. It could be sometimes you can't poison because of like you have to defend the troops that are crossing. So I don't know exactly where Elixir was there, but that could play into it as well. It's very difficult in Graveyard Mirrors to ever come back though if you get this far behind.
Why is that specifically so difficult?
It's a chip deck. You don't really, and especially when you have your own poison, they're never going to get large sums of damage. So okay, you can get larger sums of damage with Graveyard, but it's usually because you overcommitted on offense. But now you really don't have a reason to because the tower's already so low. So it's going to be hard to come back because of that. If you just go all out defense, they're going to get 200, 300 damage a push, and they're going to run out of time.
Tower down, so SergioRamos going to take game number 1 against the young upstart Schwarzen, who has been playing in the Orange Crown League with Outplayed, and of course representing his country in the no-tilt worlds. Not to mention, has secured a berth to the group stage to stage 3 of the no-tilt world championship. Very excited for this young man, but right now going to fall behind in game number 1 against the one and only CCGS world champion. Lancelot the Ocelot asking who's on call. Sounds like Colton. Well, you would be right.
Hey, he wins a prize.
I need to put a graphic or something on screen so people know that it's you the entire time.
I like the mystery.
The mystery, yeah. Who is that? Can't we figure it out?
So, okay, yeah, that's what it was. So Schwarzen, I checked. Schwarzen did have poison in cycle, but because he went Mega Knight, he didn't have the elixir to do it. So possibly the error was in playing Mega Knight. If he had defended with something cheaper, he could have done that and poison.
Baby Dragon ban incoming for Schwarzen.
But it could have been one of those things too, where they both played the cards at the same time, and he didn't know his opponent was playing Graveyard yet.
All right. Yeah, little pieces here that change the way you view some of these things. Animals248 asking Rich, how do you get access to the font for Clash Royale? Google Clash Royale font. It's actually very, very simple. That's how I found it.
It's like Supercell Magic or something?
Yep, that's the name of it. Supercell Magic.
I had
Here we go, game
It's
number
magic.
2.
You know. All right, take your guess on what decks they have. Skeletons.
It's 2.6, obviously. What else would it be?
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. But I doubt it. It's graveyard, maybe? And RG. It's not graveyard, it's bridge spam.
Bandit's become a lot more versatile, it feels like, in the last few months. You know, you used to see, look, here, it's going to be minor. You used to see Bandit pretty much just in bridge spam, with a couple variations here and there, but for some reason, and maybe you can shed some light on this one as with the you know, who's won and lost from the Ban Olympics, why have we seen sort of an uptick in the use of Bandit outside of its traditional decks?
Because Pekka currently kind of sucks. And I would say she's pretty good and Ghost is bad, so it's like finding other ways to use her. She also, like in this deck, you're seeing her with Mega Knight. She does well with, like, she's good with Ram Rider, Mega Knight, Pekka, and I mean those kind of high pressure cards that aren't exactly win conditions. And so here you're seeing her with like a Miner and a Mega Knight. So she's good. She's just good at offering pressure, and she's fairly good on defense. So, and we see a lot of Mega Knight, possibly because of like Royal Hogs being pretty prevalent, and Three Musketeers being back. So those things.
Just as you're talking about pressure, you see a pressure Bandit at the bridge for 3 Elixir, forcing out a defensive Miner from SergioRamos, which in the long run for Schwarzen might be good just to force SergioRamos to play Miner when he doesn't want it.
Yeah, so especially with lava Miner decks, having the Miner out of cycle for offensive rotations is really nice because there's a lot less pressure on you when you don't have to worry about it.
Mega Knight to the left-hand side, Lava Hound Inferno in the same direction, and again with the high E-Wiz from Schwarzen.
Does it? Yeah, it's on a barb. Is it now onto it? It doesn't matter. Ooh, Arrow Zap taking that out is a pretty good interaction for him. Good poison. He's going to have to do something else with Inferno, though.
Plenty of Elixir to deal with it. Yep. That's a nice, cheap way to handle it. A good kite. Perfectly placed kite.
The aggressive aggression everywhere.
Both players going all out.
Oh, does he defend this, though? The aggression was more calculated for Schwarzen. He also has a fast cycle and pretty good air defense, though.
Yeah, fast cycle, combination of the E-Wiz and the Skeleton Dragons to worry about the Balloon Lava Hound as they come in. Tower down here. I don't think there's any way through for SergioRamos.
That balloon may connect. Let's see. If it connects, it takes tower. No. Oh, I think it would have, but time ran out.
Yeah, balloon falls a little short. Well timed there by Schwarzen.
It would have been Sergio's advantage in double too with beatdown, being able to push only one lane. That was robo played by Schwarzen though. But also, so if you compare like traditional Pekka Bridge Spam, I mean they're not really the same deck because it's a minor deck. But if you were to like compare those and you look, you have Skeleton Dragons instead of Magic Archer, which is a better air defense, and you have a quicker cycle, and your cycle isn't as easily stopped by like barbs. So it makes this more of an even matchup than you would think with like a 2 air defense pressure sort of deck, I guess.
And we're talking about that pressure. SergioRamos choosing to ban Bandit for this next one. So Bandit now off the board for the remainder of this best of 5. Here's the bracket for you guys in chat one more time. And of course, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, don't look at the bracket because spoiler alert. You know what I'm talking about. So don't. I'm not going to put the bracket in the description for this video later because it would ruin everything for you guys. But there's the bracket as it currently stands. So no spoilers for those of you watching at home. Of course, Reichert already moved past Viiper, and a second German looking to move on. And you take a look at who's at this stage, and there's 4 Germans currently in the top 16 for this event.
I need RF to carry, so America is represented.
First of all, I love the way that that America comes out of that Texas accent. That is classic. Couldn't be better. And yes, RF definitely carrying the flag for the US of A at this point. Of course, this has been kind of a banner year for the US in Clash Royale esports after being much maligned in 2019.
Yeah, I tweeted that. That's like one of my most recent tweets when they did well in CRL. Kind of sad that Misfits is somewhat split up from the All-American roster.
Yeah, very curious to see what Misfits does in the offseason now, losing kind of a linchpin player there in Razor.
Too bad they can't add Sucks. He went to Asia, correct?
Yeah, he'll be playing with Nova. Of course, maybe purchasing his contract from Nova might make sense at this stage. Nova has 6 players on the roster, I believe.
Oh boy, that Heal Spirit just brought 2 units back from death, and now they're attacking the turret.
And King Tower activation does not get through, so disaster for Schwarzen here to start out
awful.
game number 3.
Heal Spirits is insane.
So what do you think is the fix for Heal Spirit? Is it a range reduction? Is it a quantity of healing reduction?
Maybe just like 5 or 10% less healing.
You prefer that over reducing the healing range?
Yeah, I think so. Because you don't really have, it's not like Ice Spirit, right, where you're putting it directly down on a friendly unit. Your opponent can, well, I guess maybe that's a good thing that you can kind of put something out and purposely make it not hit your unit. Either one works. I don't care. But I do think it needs a nerf.
Zach in the chat saying the turret, WTF, Colton, you good?
Tower, my bad, my bad.
I'm fine with turret. I say we go with turret from now on.
Is that like a British thing? I don't know.
I have no idea. Of course, we have had some pretty big name changes into Clash Royale cards lately here on this channel. Of course, after the round of 32 of the AMG Cup, we've now renamed Royal Recruits the 6-man after Jack, who, if you guys weren't there that time, didn't know how to say his band, so just said 6-man ? And his opponent Razor figured out he was talking about the Royal Recruits. Oh, huge Hog Rider Mega Knight connection on the left-hand side. Schwarzen really has nothing for this, so loading up on the right, going for a full-on tower trade, and maybe to try to push all the way for the 3 crown here.
This is some aggression. That fireball hit nothing.
Fish Slapper does go all the way through, and still some healthy troops on the right-hand side. SergioRamos has to get back around to something very, very quickly. Right now, this might go the direction of Schwarzen, except for an aggressive Hog Rider at the bridge. Right-hand tower going to get down to under 1,000 HP, courtesy of 2 hog shots. So here we go, sudden death overtime, and SergioRamos does have the lead both on King Tower and Princess Tower. Schwarzen, though, has shown the ability to threaten as we go later into this game.
I have to think with not being able to split push now with hogs, as long as Sergio keeps his Mega Knight in cycle, I don't think there's any way that he can't just easily defend Schwarzen's attacks.
Fisherman
also, he has damage. Why offensive? It may not matter. Maybe it doesn't matter.
That why, I don't know why, but it tickled me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it. I think he does enough damage, but it's just like you are never going to get broken through if you keep your Mega Knight in cycle for defense, so.
Pigs in the pocket, and as you talked about, Mega Knight there a little bit late.
He did get back to it in time, though, so maybe it was okay. I mean, it definitely was. He's going to win, but.
So this should be a GG well played. Those of you guys asking about when Morton will play, don't worry. You have another German on the board right now. About to fall down 2-1, though. SergioRamos going to have match point here against Schwarzen.
I mean, you can really just see how much easier it is for SergioRamos to defend attacks than it is for Schwarzen, because Schwarzen had to drop like Rascal's Barb Barrel, and Sergio can Mega Knight. But that is a lot of damage. It doesn't matter though.
It was kind of close. Pigs trying to win the foot race, can't do it. SergioRamos takes game number 3 and the lead.
I like the. I mean, of course, when Schwarzen is running the Royal Hog decks, Mega Knight's real nice, but if you know your opponent's going to run a lot of hogs, Mega Knight is probably the best because it defends and counter pushes.
Lord Guerra asking, wait, this is all BO5? Holy, yeah, this is a high-level Clash Royale competition. We're not playing any roll of the dice BO3s here. This is BO5 top to bottom.
Isn't the highest competition BO3?
You think BO3 is the best? That's
no,
actually my
like
my one change that I would make, or if I would change the CRL format, what I would do is I would go back to King of the Hill being second set, which is fun, and then make the final set be a 1v1 BO5.
Okay, and keep it kind of. I mean, I see you can't make the team BO5, but 1v1 being BO5.
Yeah,
That's a little bit weird. That's a little bit weird for like statistics and stuff, right? Because the 1v1 player always plays more.
I mean, what, for a fantasy royale? That's the big concern?
You're also kind of judged based on win rate and stuff.
Sure.
So they have a more accurate sample size. I don't know, it's a little bit odd. But no, I mean, yeah, sure. It'd be better than what we currently have, I think. It's a hard balance to strike with how long it needs to take and stuff.
Yeah, it does get a little bit challenged there. There's the challenge bracket on both sides, guys, if you want to follow along at home. And Royal Giant aggressive from Schwarzen. So Schwarzen down 1, and SergioRamos going P.E.K.K.A bridge spam. How do you feel about this matchup with the P.E.K.K.A and Ewiz in combination on defense?
It's a little bit different than previous iterations of. I mean, I think it's RG matchup because the Fisherman is really annoying. You have to like defend. You have to like put a battle ram in front of your P.E.K.K.A to block, and RG can outcycle P.E.K.K.A as well. So I think it's RG's matchup and the defense. Well, now that rule delivery, it's a little bit easier now that rule delivery is not as popular because that was really hard to get through.
What do you think of that royal delivery change? I mean, it kind of feels like the loss of the knockback is almost like a card crippling adjustment.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right change, but I also really disliked the card, so I don't hate it personally. But it killed the card basically, so. Because like that's what it does, right? It's a defensive arrows basically with a delay. So I'm okay with the delay being a main mechanic. But at that point it needs to have some reason to run it, which is the knockback. So they took that away. It kind of just makes no sense to the card's design, in my opinion.
Huge Magic Archer Zap combination on the right-hand side, and just like that, SergioRamos does have the lead. P.E.K.K.A right into the RG. We'll see if he protects that Mama P.E.K.K.A. Doesn't need to. Fisherman not going to come down.
Yeah, I would say a big thing too for Schwarzen is you kind of want to play this slow early on, and then double you get more aggressive because you can't overcommit early on and take damage from all that bridge spam. That ghost hits. Is that Ram's connecting? Yeah.
That's a huge connection. Magic Archer maybe cycled a little early here for SergioRamos at the bridge, but does get Fisherman out of cycle on the opposite side. Final 30 seconds of regulation. And SergioRamos 1 win away from moving on to the quarterfinals with a big-time win, potentially over Schwarzen.
Fisherman aggressive now. Why didn't he Fisherman?
Here comes the Fisherman. The Heal Spirit not available. Late with the Fisherman.
He had the elixir for it too. I thought he was going to predict it. I mean, Sergio's doing what he should. He's pressuring really hard. That was a nice zap so that the enemy Fisherman didn't go off first.
And the Ghost Magic Archer comes in. Magic Archer going to put this thing way, way low. One more shot, 240.
Poison Zap doesn't kill, I don't think, right? It needs 2 zaps?
Yeah, not
with
quite
new damage.
There.
Old damage would have taken it, but... That being said, Schwarzen has such a damage deficit. Cycling 2 zaps is no problem. That's a good Fisherman.
So SergioRamos making his case about his level right now.
Yeah, really well played. And I do think this is probably slight matchup advantage for Schwarzen. I feel like he was too aggressive in single. I think that was what hurt him. Because you can see the RG is kind of like guaranteed damage. You just have to be able to deal with the counter push, and it's much easier to deal with the counter push in double and triple than it is in single.
Here we are in triple elixir. Not out of the woods yet. SergioRamos does need Poison Zap to finish off that right-hand side, or a fancy Magic Archer. Poison down. Fireball in. And with the Heal Spirit, this Royal Giant could steal tower potentially. No, Heal Spirit does go down. That's going to be it.
Yeah. It could have, but the Poison Zap came out in time.
So GG, well played, SergioRamos. Moving on over the young upstart German. Pretty big win there for Sergio.
That was well played by Sergi. I would have liked to see Schwarzen be a little bit more passive early on in the game. And then he didn't ever even try an offensive fisherman, really, which I like, which is so useful in that matchup. So I feel like those were the biggest things that made the difference.
Those were big ones, of course. Here's a look at the bracket overall for this one. Coming up next will be Leo Vargas versus Amir. So one of the only matches, I think the only match besides the Reichert Viiper match, that contains nobody with CRL experience between the two.
True. But I love these tournaments because, and like with No Tilt, I love these tournaments because it gives people that aren't known a chance to show how good they are, like CCGS used to do.
Yeah, I mean, big up to Revel and Moreno, and of course everyone at AMG for helping put these things together. And expect to see a lot more of these. Of course, Revel's been doing these tournaments for quite a long time, and they've been pretty fun to watch from top to bottom. Who's the second? I'll go ahead. Who's the second caster from Frio? That's going to be Colton joining me. We're going to go ahead and jump into Leo versus... one second there. I lost my train of thought. Leo versus Emir Uzumaki coming up in just a moment. And Amir, again, one of the Germans, one of the 4 Germans overall in this competition. Our results so far right up here. Reichert taking the win over Viiper to kick things off, and then SergioRamos over Schwarzen just now to move on. So 1 German up, 1 German down, and 2 more to go. One of them maybe a little bit less known to some of you at home, and Amir Uzumaki, but then, of course, one of the biggest names in the game. Morton coming up in a little while against DiegoE. Here we go, game number 1.
Is there a loser bracket for this?
No, this is a single elimination bracket.
Just single elimination, okay.
Just get in, get out. So some cycle here from Amir.
It's like Royal Hog's cycle, maybe? And then a log bait deck with like maybe Prince or... No? Okay, I was wrong. Hog and Mega Knight. This is a weird log bait deck. But the Hog deck I've seen before. It's just... Firecracker's usually either Royal Hog's Hog or like... Yeah, those two.
So Hog EQ Mini P.E.K.K.A, kind of an older version of Hog EQ.
Yeah, it's like old Hog Rocket. I mean, it probably actually is Rocket.
It might be Rocket.
Yeah.
Although EQ's been getting a bit of a bit more love lately, since now 2 EQs do more damage to a tower than a rocket.
Oh, this is a skeleton drag version of the deck that Little Chen used at Worlds, and he wasn't the one who invented it. People on Ladder have been using it before, but that's what the deck is.
Yeah, people call it the Little Chen deck. That's what made it famous.
Yeah, he's who popularized it.
And of course, in 2019, we saw variations of this all over the place in CRL West.
Some 2v2 as well with it.
Giant Skeleton
like
got in the mix there for a little while with it.
Yeah. Very offensive deck. I think it has no spells, right?
Yeah. No, it is a no spell, blow it out the water, and hope that they don't stop you deck.
Yep.
So
Firecracker and Log does offer a good way to deal with some of those swarms, but he also has Mega Knight and Goblin Cage, so it doesn't even have to necessarily use them with sub-hogs. Ooh, that Mega Knight is very unfortunate. Looks like it doesn't matter too much, though.
Going to be a pretty healthy push going the opposite direction, distracted at the bridge. The barrel goes down, so forces out a mini P.E.K.K.A and Skeletons on defense. A ton of damage for Leo Vargas. And the opening
lucky
moments.
that Mega Knight wasn't splashing tower. 2 Firecrackers down could be difficult.
How do you feel about Firecracker now that there's been some adjustments?
I don't know. I think the card seems fair now. It seems a little bit ridiculous before. Like in how far it went back. I think it's in an okay place. I mean, obviously it gets weaker, but I think it's fair.
And someone pointing out that Goblin Barrel is technically a spell. Yes, we all know it's technically a spell. But
I count it as a troop.
Yeah, me too. It's a troop. It's a troop that rides in a barrel.
Yeah.
If the barrel itself did damage, maybe I'd think of it more spell-like, but then what do you call Skeleton Barrel? Is that a spell?
No.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Goblin Barrel once did impact damage, but that's kind of dumb because it's like you get damage for doing nothing, which Skeleton Barrel kind of does, but at least Skeleton Barrel, if you really want to defend it, you can stop it before it gets to tower.
So there you go, a little view at Leo's last game right before he came in here. And there you go against Emir Uzumaki. So he was playing Rocket, not EQ. Not able to get it down throughout the...
Yeah. There's no, I mean, there's nothing to rocket on your opponent unless you're just going to go for cycle, but that is difficult for a hog to break through with all the ways he has to stop it.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. And if you guys heard that angry princess sound in the chat, that's because Amir banned Goblin Barrel. So Lego Vargas not super happy about that one. Worked out well for him one time. Can't do it again, though.
That's one of those bad situations where your opponent plays their... I mean, that's interesting, too. It's like, do you play your best deck first round, or do you wait and risk it being banned before you get a chance to?
Yeah, it does become...
Not saying that's his best deck, but just in general, yeah.
Leo Vargas personal best on ladder, 83.22. Amir Uzumaki on his account, known as Diamond, 8.5K. So these guys are okay at ladder, I guess.
They are good players. They're here for a reason. It's interesting, too, when you get these types of players. Not these types of players, but like, you know, more ladder-oriented players that only play ladder. They don't... they're not like a CRL player because they have more interesting deck pools, I would say, often. CR players have a decently diverse deck pool too, obviously. I mean, not diverse, but they usually don't bring out the weirder stuff like this. Like, you don't see this log bait deck as often from like CRL players, I would say.
Yeah, not as much maybe. Of course, on the other side of it, sometimes the non-CRL players, they get in trouble and you see them go. There was a match the other day in the No Tilt World Championship where the non-CRL player ran Barbhut GY game number 1 and then ran Goblin Giant Sparky Rage game 2. And he lost those 2 games, and I was like, oh, he's definitely going to run Eagle and Battle Healer game 3. Look at what he's run so far. He's in trouble. And lo and behold, Eagle and Battle Healer. And it's almost become kind of a thing now where some of these less experienced competitive players, when they're facing elimination, I would almost always, at this stage, run a deck that at least counters Eagle and Battle Healer. Not a snipe necessarily, but it's becoming kind of predictable at this stage.
I mean, it's pretty easy to... I mean, it's a good pressure. It's good to play under pressure because it's hard to play it wrong.
Oh, looks like we had the game start bug, so I'm going to restart Clash Royale, guys. Meaning the didn't show up.
If you click on the clan button, you can spectate from that.
Yeah, they've been not showing up in there as well. That's been
how
nasty the bug's been. So restarting here. I'm going to go ahead and now check it out. And here we go into our next game. Leo Vargas up 1. The ban is Goblin. Hey, Koji-san, thank you very much.
That was... Did you see that roll delivery? That was nice.
I was looking at the chat for a half second, but that's why you're here. What's so nice about that roll delivery?
So Lava Hound was approaching the bridge and he played down a Musketeer. Unfortunately, the balloon gets a hit, but he played down a Musketeer, and then he preemptively rolled delivery the ground in front of the Musketeer, and at the same time, Leo played an Inferno Dragon, so it blocked it, and the Musketeer was able to finish killing the Lava Hound.
Miner to the right-hand side, and knowing that he's not against NATO at this stage, go ahead and start varying early. You know, a lot of players, even after they've seen 2 or 3 cards and are 95% sure, they're not even 99 or 100% sure against NATO, you still see them go to the safe spot for almost the entirety of single elixir. Is that just like a reflex thing? Just habit? Yeah.
I think it's habit, absolutely. Could be that. I don't. If you know they don't have NATO, you probably shouldn't go for the first one. But it is a good trick spot once you have started switching up spots because they won't expect you to go there. But yeah, it's mostly reflex, I would say, or habit. Arrow Zap taking out Skeleton Drag is a huge interaction for the Lava player in this type of matchup. I found this matchup pretty difficult. Your graveyards are hard for them to defend. I mean, sort of. They have small spells, but like it's hard to get through the big pushes. As you can see, they're going for the tower trade here, which is not the position Graveyard wants to be forced into typically.
Yeah, it's rough for Graveyard, and single tower game going to go advantage to the Lava Hound, especially if it's not a tower trade. Disaster here for Emir Uzumaki in game number 2.
I don't know. Maybe I'm bad at Graveyard, but when I've tried this matchup before, it felt real bad. It's hard to it's hard to actually fully defend lavas, and even if you do go other lane, they can barbs, and like you have to commit so much elixir to get rid of barbs. And poison kills them, but it's like after they've already fully defended the graveyard, so it doesn't even matter at that point.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, poison getting a ton of value on both barbs and skeleton dragons, but what
He just needs to stop it from taking tower. Yeah. Ooh, the barb doesn't matter, but.
So GG, well played. The Peruvian going to take game number 2, currently 1 away from a straight sweep against Emir Uzumaki.
I mean, I know the matchups for lava, but I was hoping Amir would pull out something. I mean, I feel like he played well, so it's a hard matchup for sure. I would say it's more winnable when they don't have barbs. Barbs are rough.
Yeah, as you can see there, even with the -1 trade. Or
yeah, it's a real bad matchup.
Really, really bad one. And yeah, you can't always trust the numbers here, but when the sample size is 3,500 and the matchup is 70-30.
It's trustworthy in that case, yeah.
Yeah,
especially when these decks are both real meta. I mean, it's like one of the hardest counters for graveyard.
So here we go.
Even when World Delivery was better, it was still impossible, I feel.
Game number 3 on its way in. Leo Vargas with match point and Emir Uzumaki with his back to the wall.
Yeah, Sam, but those were different variants. It's not the same variant as the one we just played against. But Serge did play very well in that game. It was still probably lava advantage.
People in the chat asking who's on voice. I'm going to say it one more time, Colton. And I'll probably say it 5 more times at least, maybe more. We'll see.
It me.
It him. By the way, guys, if you want your shot at playing this Wednesday the 12th, $100 open. Going to be exclusively partnered with Geyser, so you have to download the Geyser app to get a piece of that prize
sad.
pool.
I was hoping it was Golem. I don't think it's going to be Golem.
Not going to be. So there's the links for you guys in the chat.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amir ran it back, same deck. And Leo's just playing another version? No. Why would he have? I don't think he would have Fireball, yeah. Wait, what did it do? Oh, Eagle. Duh.
Hey, those are some pretty cool Rich Slate emotes there in the Twitch chat. Thanks for flexing them.
All right, I'm rooting for the graveyard player.
Yeah, at this point, ugh. Leo.
Oh, there's the stack, baby.
Oh, boy. Let's go, Graveyard. Hey, Coach
Try
in the chat saying hi. How are you? Good to see you.
I have expected him to give up on the graveyard defense and just eagle him and start spamming the bridge and tower trade. It may have been the play, honestly.
Although now can do it in the opposite lane.
He's so low, it doesn't matter. This is taking tower.
This is so filthy. This is so filthy. Battle healer in the back.
Look, the barb's gonna live.
My lord. My lord. People ask me, sometimes I forget, I don't know why, but people ask me my least favorite card in the game. It's the battle healer. Just get her out of here.
I think mine's a tie between Battle Healer and Eagle.
Yeah, Eagle might be cheesy, but, I don't mind Eagle in other decks anywhere near as much. I mind it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I don't mind Healer in other decks. How I mind her in Eagle.
That's a fair point.
I think they should both be removed, and then balance is restored.
Or just change them to completely different cards. Like, go, okay, we're going to introduce a new card, but we're going to introduce it in place of... There you go.
They already did that with Healer.
I know.
Where's the go back button? I like useless cards better than I like useful gross cards.
Fireball high should hold off. 372 though.
I feel like the heal rework should have just been Heal Spirit and then just give Heal Spirit a nerf. I think Heal Spirit is a much fairer card than Healer.
It's also more interesting. It does things that are can make plays with it and against it. Battle Healer, it's like, I don't know, just put it there. Get a second one down if you want. And then hope that, do I have air defense so I can't hit them? No? Ugh.
But I don't hate on players because, I mean, Eagle, and you got to use it if it's good. And it's easy and it's safe. So, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, so stealing candy from a baby. But I don't endorse that either. So GG, well played. 3-0, I guess.
I feel like Amir, it happens, but I feel like Amir's case for winning that game is just playing more defensive early on And double, I feel like you're in a better position there to slowly chip them out and just have solid defenses.
Coming up next, Alperen versus Samuel Bassotto. But before we get there, of course, as you ask again, yes, Geyser is free. There's a link in the chat one more time. I'll put this in the show notes. $100 open tournament. I do these regularly on my channel. The next one will be Wednesday, August 12th in a couple days. So go ahead. There's links there for both iOS and Android. Go ahead and download the app. Come play. Win some cash. And, of course, if you guys didn't know already, the last person to win one of my $100 open tournaments was Igor, beating Lapacati in a final best of 5. So, yeah, you might have some good people to go up against here and there. Let's pop out here for a second. Take a look at the scores so far. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Slayton, caster for Clash Royale League. Joining me is former CRL pro Colton, one of the originators of high-level 2v2. Now, we're getting into Alperen versus Samuel Bassotto, one of the greatest ladder players of all time, up against a guy who just got 6th place on ladder 2 seasons ago. But before we jump in there, the big news today, obviously, your former 2v2 partner, the guy who kind of helped you pioneer 2v2 competitively, Razor, getting signed by Team Liquid. We've kind of touched on it briefly here, but Colton, what are your thoughts on that addition to the already powerhouse Team Liquid squad?
I wonder what role he'll have, because I think he's, I don't know. When I played with him, I felt like he started to I mean, I think he definitely likes 1v1 better. I think he should be like a King of the Hill. I mean, he always is a King of the Hill specialist, but I wish he would do 1v1 sets more often.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see. I mean, I doubt it's hard for me to imagine Eric benching Igor from the 1v1 set, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll play 1v1. So, I mean, I guess that is the role. I mean, I assume they want him to play King of the Hill in 2v2, but, I mean, statistically speaking, he hasn't done as well recently with 2v2. But maybe with a new partner that'll change.
I had a pretty decent overall season. Oh, let's see. Where is Alperen? Well, I'll find out.
No, I mean, it was the same he's done in the past 2 seasons. He did well in King of the Hill and sub 50% win rate in 2v2. So it wasn't as effective as when we were partners, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, your guys' run in the first season of CRL obviously kind of put everybody on notice of how important 2v2 is and preparing with a teammate. Here we go, looking like it's going to be a mirror match. Hog triple spell in both directions. Yeah, I mean, my theory is it's going to be, assuming that Canario's still on the team, not knowing the exact makeup of, we're guessing 4 that Eric likes to play with. My guess would be that it's Razor and Canario with the 2v2 duo, and then Igor as the 1v1 specialist. And I guess they could switch Surge in there potentially for 2v2, and then whatever group of 3 is feeling best for King of the Hill.
And last season, who played 2v2 the most for Liquid? Was it Canario or Surge?
Canario. It was Canario and Diego, I believe, and then it was Canario and Surge.
And then Surge had more success than they did, I think I saw.
I have the stats. You know what? Actually, I can go and look at them right now, but I actually have the stats on my right over here to the side.
I'm pretty certain that's what they went to, and Surge had better win rate than Diego. But I think it was still pretty poor compared to previous seasons.
Yeah, that's where they had trouble. They went 1-4 or 1-5 overall in 2v2 sets. Canario was in all 5 of those sets, switching back and forth between Surge and Diego B as his partner.
Yeah, and win rate wise, I think they did slightly better with Surge. So maybe it'll be Canario and Razor. Razor does speak a little bit of Spanish, but Canario I also think speaks English fairly well. So
might speak better English than Razor speaks Spanish. So I know he speaks better English than I speak Spanish, at least that much. So there you go. So this has been pretty much the most popular hog deck of this season. The EQ,
I mean, it was popular in the past too. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Of course, EQ took a backseat last season. People not liking the nerf very much, but it seems to have come back a bit here and on.
Yeah, I think it's in a better spot now. It just, I mean, like when buildings become meta, it becomes meta, basically. And there are quite a bit of buildings right now, a decent amount at least. So it still has a spot, and it was kind of oppressive before, and it's not quite as good at spell cycling. So,
what are your guesses on the next introduced card to Clash Royale? They did release a building relatively recently in the Goblin Cage. We've had the E-Golem, the Battle Healer.
I think what, Goblin Cage? Who came first, Goblin Cage or Fisherman? I don't remember.
They might have been around. They were close at the same time.
Yeah, I think those are the last two good introductions. I don't like the cards that have been introduced since. So I wish they would take more time. I mean, I don't know. Some people kind of quickly want card releases, but like the last few cards that have been released, I just didn't really like them. Like, I don't think Rule Delivery was a great card. Ooh, that's a hog hit. That's game.
Alperen trying to get there in time, not going to do it. Samuel gets game number 1 in the mirror match.
I guess I think Bomb Tower probably has ever so slightly the advantage just because quicker cycle by 1 elixir, but that's pretty skill. It depends on starting hands too.
Hold on here. There we go.
It may not really matter what defense.
Yeah, that little faster cycle there from Bomb Tower, and that's the more popular one of these two, not to mention it's an even trade rather than the -1 trade for Alperen. So you add those two pieces together and you might see what's going on here. Light Sama in the family chat saying, I hope the new card has a unique new win condition with a new mechanic.
Yeah, it's so difficult to have to introduce a card into the game that's like real interesting, and I hope I like unique cards though, instead of I like unique cards as opposed to kind of rehashing old like troops, I guess. Like, I guess Heal Spirit was fairly good. It's kind of oppressive at the moment. I don't like heal mechanics in general, but I think the card's at least pretty fair once they nerf it a little bit more.
Sure. So let's see. Alperen taking a while to choose his ban. We'll see what he comes up with. And here you go, guys. If you want to watch the replay of this or of any Clash Royale esports events, other fun stuff, the Inside the Play series, go check me out on YouTube. You can go watch some of that fun stuff there. And Alperen banning Royal Giant finally. Took him a little while to choose it. But now the RG ban in for the Turkish player. And question again, who's the casters? Rich Slayton and Colton. Coletown, yes.
Woo.
And Samuel Bassotto, of course. I don't know if this is his official personal best, but I believe it's pretty close. 87-21. Best finish on ladder. Or personal best on ladder. And of course,
I would say the first finish is the most impressive.
The first finish. What do you mean?
First place global.
Oh, first place global? Yeah, well, that's how I was getting there next. I don't know if it's either 4 or 5 #1 finishes for Samuel Bassotto on top of of over 30 top 10 finishes on ladder. So that's kind of nuts.
Insane. First known as like a hog, as a hog player. He played lots of hog.
And you see a little hog EQ coming out this one.
Mm-hmm. There's the Heal Spirit, RG, Royal Hogs come to mind.
RG's banned, so we'll see if maybe going either Royal Hogs or Balloon.
Probably Royal Hogs. Graveyard for the opponent, most likely, or E-Golem.
There's also a Ram Rider variation that runs, but there you go.
It is Balloon.
It's Lumberloon. I'm not 1,000% sure I understand the Fisherman here, unless you're trying to counter, I guess, E-Wiz and Hunter with the Fisherman.
Yeah, it seems weird. Is he going to be... Oh, wow, he's going to lose almost his entire tower, I feel like.
But that fireball in, yes, he will. Huge push on the left-hand side. Alperen going to shred the left-hand tower back in the opposite direction. First minute away, and the Turkish player jumps out to a major lead.
Oh, no, I was wrong as well. It was the Royal Hogs for the Barbell player. I don't know that I've seen this variation, or maybe I'm forgetting it. But, I mean, it's not crazy, right? It's just a good meta defense plus Royal Hog, Heal Spirit, Quick Cycle.
We'll see if question from the chat here is Samuel using the 6-man. We'll see.
So the big thing for me there was Samuel went like Lumberloon. I'm assuming his cycle wasn't exactly there. Like if you go Lumberloon, you want to do it the second the Barbell's dropped. And you see it came out like what, 10 seconds after?
Yeah, might have needed a bit of time to get himself ready.
Yeah, it's not worth it at that point when you have to wait that long because they get the elixir back to defend. So, and you can see the counter push killed him. He was able to skeleton drag, take one balloon hit, and then the counter push killed him.
Huge connection for the left-hand lane. Mark of the Beast there for just a second, 394. So now pretty much all evened up. Thank you very much, Revel, for the follow. And of course, Revel Amar and Apache Moreno, you see both following here in the Twitch chat. The organizers of the AMG Cup and some of the best off-season solo competitions in Clash Royale.
The lumberjack there on defense, but really just wanted to get it for the counter push with the balloon. He may not be able to break through.
Yeah, 32 seconds left. Could be hard to get around.
Yeah, I think Alperen can just full on defend the rest of the game. He has a quick enough cycle that I don't know why he will hogs though.
Maybe to keep
Well, actually, wait, what is fire? Well, yeah. I wonder if Samuel. I mean, it depends on where his cycle was, but maybe he couldn't. I was wondering if he could just go the balloon right away, trying to get death damage, but.
And that's going to be it. Game number 2. Going to go to Alperen. Tying things up here against Bassotto.
I don't have new fireball damage to memorize, so I don't know if that was a kill or not.
New fireball is 172.
What was the tower at? It was close to that.
I didn't see what the tower was at. Hold on. Mrs. Slade
I have all.
If the internet went out, but I think mine was fine.
I have all the old tower damage memorized, so I can add that to the useless information stored in my head category.
Yeah, I mean, you should have some useless information. I know what T-shirt Adrock was wearing in the 1986 Spring Break interview by the Beastie Boys.
I wasn't alive.
I was 2, but I saw it in a documentary once, and I was like, oh, now I know what T-shirt he was wearing. And just for those who playing at home, it was the white T-shirt with the red Beastie Boys spray-painted logo, which maybe explains why I have a spray-painted logo now. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Nice. He stole it.
Yeah, he stole that idea. No, he stole it from me.
Oh.
I came up with it when I was 1, and then at 2 years old, Adrock was like, that's a great idea for an interview.
You're insane.
Yeah, I know. So let's see. Ban is going to be Expo from Samuel as we go into game number 3. And, of course, you can take a look at the bracket as it currently stands. Just to update you guys, if you're just joining us, Reichert did beat Viiper on the left-hand side. We'll face the winner of Morton versus DiegoE. Leo Vargas 3-0'd Emir Uzumaki. So he'll be moving along as well. And then SergioRamos beat Schwarzen. So SergioRamos is waiting for the winner of iAmJP versus SaintBelikin. Game number 3 coming our way here in just a moment between these two. Let's go along. Tumas saying, Rich, they said they will release a new building at the end of the summer. Did you see that anywhere, Cole?
I don't know. They leave little hints throughout that I miss, like on Reddit and stuff. I don't get on CR Reddit very much.
Yeah, I used to go on. I actually have been #1 on CR Reddit twice.
Oh yeah.
But I don't go on very often. One was one of those inside the play, like a minute-long versions. And no, that actually was that inside the play, or was that my Ice Golem short film that I made? The Ice Golem Rudy one. Might have been. And the other one was a meme of that scene of Michael Jordan dunking with a really long arm, but with P.E.K.K.A as his head. And that was when P.E.K.K.A had that super long range for a month.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
Two-time #1.
I like the CR Reddit, and I really like Reddit in general, but maybe it's just because I've been a pro player, it just isn't the. I read too much that I disagree with.
Well, if you want to read what you disagree with, just go ahead and join the Clash Royale Facebook groups. That's where it gets really fun.
Oh, I see those because of Gramps on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I experienced it through him.
Yeah. I've jumped in every once in a while just to see how toxic those conversations do get. And he certainly knows how to rile them up, that's for sure. Here we go. First minute and a half away. Samuel playing double bait up against Alperen running hog triple spell one more time. Snowball log bomb tower seems like a good situation for Alperen.
Yeah, definitely. And then Alperen probably has, he definitely has Earthquake. I wonder if he has sometimes. Was he running double small spell earlier when he played this?
When he ran a hog triple spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so triple spell. So I'm assuming he has like a bar barrel or a log as well.
It should be log. I think they're mostly running this with log for the chip at the end.
Well, either way, why hasn't he used it yet if he has it?
That is weird.
Like, he was snowballing Goblin Barrel. There's no way he has it, right? He would have already used it on the Goblin Barrel when he's using Skeleton Barrel and Goblin Barrel.
That is weird.
So, like, what else would he be running?
Yeah, no other card makes sense.
Oh, well, why did he not use it before then?
Maybe he was trying to save it for a Dark Goblin near the bridge.
Yeah, maybe. That's just so weird. Your tower's half dead and you haven't used your log at your best defense.
Maybe he was just trying to make it look cool. He was like, I can use that log. Come on.
I don't need it.
Hog EQ not going to break through against the Inferno Tower. And now Cycle perfectly set up here for the Turkish.
I mean, this should be easy for Alperen. It's just like, you just Earthquake Cycle him, basically. It doesn't matter if the Hog never gets a hit. You just Earthquake Cycle, set up bomb towers, and then log Goblin Barrels. And you'll never take any damage. I feel like early on, like, maybe the log bait player can get some damage, but in double, where you're constantly cycling your small spells, it's impossible. Because it'd be different maybe if you could, like, Rocket Cycle, given how much damage he has, but, like, Fireball's not going to do you any good. Unless, like, a Dark God blocks on by accident.
So here's a question for you that you can probably answer for, and I'm curious about this one as well. So you spend a Hog and EQ 7 Elixir against the 5 for the Inferno Tower. I guess he's forcing Samuel to use the log on defense as well. Maybe the answer's already there. But why not just switch to EQ Cycle and then play defense in this matchup?
Because it puts more pressure on to go Hog, I guess. I was actually thinking this before you even asked it. I wonder if it's ever just better to Earthquake Cycle and only defend. But if you straight up Earthquake Cycle, you aren't putting up as much pressure, I guess. It's like the only thing I could think. I don't know how it works out with like Earthquake Cycle versus Fireball Cycle as well. Because Samuel can also use his log to cycle. So maybe that. So if you're like freely Earthquake, ooh. Wait, does that just lose him the game?
Princess Tower is turned in the wrong direction for a second. 205. Alperen needs to move fast, or he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. The Juke Barrel near the end. Hog trying to break on through. Log going to get there late, and Samuel wins this. One deep barrel, a game that Alperen had completely sewn up. One deep barrel, not paying attention. Logs automatically right on the tower and ends up losing it. Wow, what a turn of events there at the end for Samuel Bassotto.
I mean, you always gotta, when you got no chance, you might as well go for it. But that was like a deep one, so it's like it's hard to miss that. But I mean, in the moment, it can be real difficult. As you can see, the matchup data, 89%. It's like an ultimate hard counter. That's what I thought. I mean, you have double small spell, and you can just Earthquake Cycle them.
Well, you got to wonder there, Samuel playing it right. And that's an interesting thing. You see some people start trying to go barrels and off tower in different places early in a game and get tricky. Less valuable against a log, of course. But Samuel was pretty much putting all of those right on tower, and then right at the heat of the moment when things got crazy, went deep. And maybe that's the best solution there, is to lull your opponent to sleep and then go for a big shot and get a chance.
Yeah, perhaps. Especially because, like, I think he may have been throwing a Hog at the same time, so, like, your attention is split. You're more likely to not notice it. So, no, definitely a good thing to go there. But, I mean, that's a mistake that's kind of inexcusable by Alperen. Like, with that easy of a matchup, you got to play that solid.
Well, here we go. It should have been Alperen with match point, but now it's going to be Samuel with match point and a chance to move on to our next stage. There you go, taking a look at the bracket. With a win here, Samuel would be moving on to face the winner of TNT versus Michi Foo. So not going to be an easy out in the quarterfinal either if he is able to get on through.
Looking forward. Where is, wait. Yeah. So, wait.
You're looking for the bracket?
Yeah, I'm looking at your stream, but what is it? Are these in order at all?
No, they're not being played in order.
Okay, I didn't think so, because I was like going up and down, like I've seen this one, I've seen this one.
No, the approximate order, actually, I'll come out here and come on camera for a second. The approximate order is right here. And we're going to go ahead and jump into our next game. So get a quick look, guys. Coming up next, of course, Morton versus DiegoE. But still right now, let's go into game number 4, match point for Samuel. And Alperen going Hog one more time.
So lots of hog from both players. Ooh.
Wow, some pretty hefty BM out of Alperen here to start things off.
Wonder why. I mean, it's Baby Dragon NATO, so that's why.
Yeah,
I mean, it's defense NATO, and that's why. But
he knows.
He's cursing his fates right now.
Yeah, gonna be a rough one there for Alperen, who has had some experience. Oh, Snowball, that's weird.
I was thinking it was gonna be like Graveyard with NATO Ice Whiz. And this is Alperen's just running Hog Earthquake again.
Goblin Cage, as you just saw there, can fully counter an unsupported Hog Rider.
I mean, I assume this is still Graveyard, but it's like Ewiz, Snowball, probably not NATO actually. So
could be.
If it's not NATO, it's winnable for Alperen.
Oh, here goes the GY.
Good block. He defended that perfectly.
And Snowball.
Although Bomb Tower is not as... So you see that kind of defense with like Hog 2.6 against Graveyard, but Bomb Tower is not quite as good against Graveyard as like a Cannon is. One of the only things Cannon's good at, but... We
know it's good at costing 3 elixir.
That's true. It does that flawlessly.
Yeah, without question. 1704 to 2199 advantage to Alperen so far as we go into double elixir time. Bassotto, though, does currently have match point.
Wait, maybe not. Okay, so I was going to say this is probably actually Mega Knight Graveyard, but it's not. It's just Poison or Freeze is the last card. It's a variant. It's similar. So I actually think this is not that bad of a matchup for Hog, as opposed to NATO would have been awful.
Yeah, NATO would have been absolutely brutal. NATO Cage altogether, not to mention the Hunter as a possibility. Ewiz to slow things down, just about everything to get in the way of a Hog Rider, but more openings now for Alperen. And, you know, it seems like Alperen wants to get ahead as early as much as he can before triple starts kicking in.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job of going opposite lane. That's a trap Hog players can fall into versus Graveyard like this, is just playing same lane. And he's kind of keeping up pressure so he can... I don't know about that last Hog. I guess he's waiting for the Hunter and he's trying to attack a low elixir. I don't know that it was necessary there. But you want to attack opposite lane so that you're... Ideally with Hog, you can pressure opposite lane same time as they go with Graveyard, and then they can't really commit to offense as much. So that's one way you can attack. Good Knight there to block.
Yeah,
and see, look, he can't really commit the offense here to killing that Musketeer because the Hog is opposite lane. And it requires at least an even elixir expenditure.
Graveyard in on the right-hand lane, Log to clear out some of those skellies early on. Snowball trying to get the Baby Dragon on tower, doesn't do it. That's a ton of damage on the right, and a Brawler on the left-hand side. So Samuel now getting very, very close to eliminating Alperen here in the top 16. Minute 30 remains.
Still winnable for Alperen, though. He needs to just all-out offense. He needs to cycle to a second Hog.
Here he goes, cycling very, very aggressively. Musketeer trying to find a way through. Knight plays on defense, poison down. Baby Dragon should get 1 or 2 onto that tower on the right-hand side. Musketeer late, and that's going to be a GG. Well played. Samuel moves on to the quarterfinal.
I wonder if, like, he needed to play that Musk where it blocked the Baby Dragon and then immediately go Hog in front of it, and maybe he breaks through, but maybe not as well. So I feel like Alperen would kind of tilted himself, though. He thought that was like a hard counter, and then I don't know. It seems like the way he BM'd, he probably was in a bad mentality already.
Yeah, probably didn't. I mean, maybe he looked at the first few cards and assumed it was a different deck and got behind. From that
from the matchups, it's still a bad... Well, that's a really small sample size, though. But I can see Graveyard being matchup, but it's not as unwinnable as like a NATO, I feel. Oh,
yeah. That would be much more difficult. Colton's on the call there, guys, for those of you asking at home. And you are going to go ahead and take a look at the bracket here. Samuel moving on over Alperen will face the winner of TNT versus Michi Foo. That's going to be a fun one. Michi Foo trying to make his case to get back into CRL after missing the spring season. And TNT, of course, hoping maybe to face off against his countryman and teammate in JupiterKing at the end. But, of course, Jupiter has a rough road to get through on that side as well. But coming up next, guys, let's pop out here and say hi. I'm Rich Layton, back at home, by the way. I almost forgot. If you are one of my subs, where did the controller go? Guys, I lost the OP AMG light controller. I was going to turn my beautiful light on for you, but I guess I misplaced it somewhere. But yeah, I'm back home after being in Montana for a few weeks. Happy to be here. And, of course, happy to be casting more Clash Royale for you guys. Coming up next, Morton versus DiegoE, of course, taking a quick 2-minute break. They will be before they get to that one as the Spanish streams transfer over from caster to caster. But you're with me all day, guys, for this one. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. There's one more look at the bracket. And, of course, we still have yet to see GodRF versus JupiterKing, Morton versus DiegoE, TNT against Michi Foo, and iAmJP against SaintBelikin, the remaining matchups in this round of 16. And for those of you guys who do want to participate in some competition on your own, on Wednesday, $100 Open in partnership with Geyser. There's the links to download the app, whether you're on iOS or Android, and you want to play yourself. Those are your ways for you to play. And a little hint, guys, that I have not told, I have not made it a public announcement for it yet, but I tell you guys right here, right now, because you're watching this one, I'm going to be doing those cool Supercell boxes that you guys have been seeing going around. Hold on, I got one of these right here. These cool, bam, Supercell boxes to the Victor Go the Spoils. This one is unopened, by the way. I'm going to be doing an opening on the channel here in a little bit. Not today, but where you win cool things like baby dragons and stuff like that. I'm going to be giving away one of those during No Tilt sometime in the next few weeks. Subscribe to me on YouTube. The link's in the chat. And it's going to be going to one of my subscribers on YouTube. So if you're not sub to YouTube already, go ahead, jump over there. And that's a chance for you to win one of those cool boxes and a bunch of Supercell merch that you can't get anywhere anymore. Colton, here's probably the most important question I'll ask you all day. Do you have a baby dragon?
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, what else
I
matters?
think I have
that?
2.
You have 2?
I think so.
That's a lot. You should
Actually, I think Razor and I were sharing one that we won at like a little Clash Nights, and he stole it. So I only have one actually.
Oh man, you know, it's something like that. You think bad karma would hit him, but now signing what I'm assuming is a pretty big contract with Team Liquid. So, GG, well played to him.
Well, I wouldn't wish him bad over anything like that.
over a stolen baby dragon. I mean, that's
he got custody of our child. That's okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't want the responsibility, if I'm going to be honest.
And No Candy in the chat saying he has 5 baby dragons. I don't know how you feed those many mouths there, No Candy, and hopefully you have a fire retardant foam in the walls of your house. So there you go. Let's take a look at the bracket one more time. What do you? So Morton, DiegoE coming up next. And then, of course, I mean, what do you think? We have some pretty tight matchups here. What do you think is the most of the ones remaining, Colt? We have RF and JupiterKing, Morton and DiegoE, TNT Meet. I mean, that one. My question was, what's the most evenly matched of these 4 remaining matchups? And are you going to say that one? That one?
But I also want to see that one the most.
Let me ask. So let's ask you some more questions. Which one of the? Let's see if you answer that one to all these questions. And that one being GodRF, JupiterKing. Of these remaining matchups, which one would you most want to see in a dance battle?
That's a weird question.
I told you I was bringing some heat.
I'd like to see belly dance.
That's. Oh, you see what he did there? Because belly dance and then belly dance.
Oh, that was unintentional, but I'm gonna say it was. I should have said it. I should have owned up.
Yeah, you should have grabbed that one by the horns. You're a cowboy, man. Jeez.
Oh my God, it was so good.
It was right there. It was right there. All right, so Belly versus JP, best, and yeah, I bet you JP has some good moves from clubbing in Barcelona. All right, which one?
No, I'm sure he actually knows how to dance, but I want to see Belikin dance.
You want to see Belikin cut a rug? I can understand that.
Yeah, I want to see him get down.
Which one of these would you want to see most in a boxing match?
Maybe also Belikin.
Belikin, JP. I think JP has the reach advantage there, but Belikin might have the fury advantage, so a distinct possibility.
Belikin's a pretty big guy. Well, Belly's tall, but he's pretty skinny.
Yeah,
Belikin's like I was in high school. That's how I was built as well.
When Belly gets his like full-on man body, that could be very scary, though. You add in some good British anger there. Might have a strong right hook. Distinct possibility. Morton, DiegoE coming up here in just a moment for those of you guys following along at home. And let's see, what are some other things? What else? Which one would you rather see try to compete on American Ninja Warrior?
I think JP is the most in shape.
Interesting. I'm looking through that list.
Am I going for who would actually be like the best at it, or
no? Which of these 4 matchups? Which matchup would you want to see on American?
Oh,
Ninja
like
Warrior?
between each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, Belikin and JP again.
pretty much all the answers at this point.
I like Belikin, so I would like to see him compete in non-Clash Royale things.
There you go. Yeah, it'd be fun to see him in more things.
Maybe TNT and Michifu because they're both tiny.
Oh, interesting. Shadow Mystic saying, I don't want to watch any of them dance. Well, I don't know what kind of life you're living, son, but I'm here to make some mistakes. And
Swimmer, you can't say R versus Morton. They aren't facing each other. That's cheating.
Yeah, although that might happen. Of course,
yeah, but not yet. Not the
yet.
rounds we currently have.
Yeah, first it's going to have to be Morton getting past DiegoE. And Morton, look, I'm not going to say that DiegoE is the better player or at the level that Morton's at. But a best of 5 here. And DiegoE is one of those guys who has really turned his career around as we go into 2020. I mean, that's been a big shift from what his first spring season was like in CRL to what he's accomplished to get himself back to this position.
Yeah, and I don't even... what was his win rate back then? Like, it was lowish, right?
It was... Oh, no, it wasn't lowish. It was dismal. I'll bring up his win rate in just one moment. But Diego...
I didn't realize it was that bad, but he was really good from the online tournaments I had faced him in and seen him in previously to CRL. Maybe it was like a stage thing, but he's always been a good player.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that he came back and is doing well now.
Yeah, it's been a good turnaround. It might have been a maturity thing, a comfort thing. DiegoE's win rate in his first season of CRL, 15% over 13 games.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty releasable, and a nice King Tower activation there for DiegoE. But this last season with Cream Royale Betis, 56%, a big turnaround, including 5-1 at King of the Hill with 1 big-time sweep.
Yeah, really good in 1v1. Yeah, he's a really good player. It doesn't surprise me at all. I think I ended every CRL season I played in with a positive win rate because of 2v2, but
I have those numbers somewhere. But I don't have them. I don't have them on my current sheet because I have I've not updated. This is all my 2020 player list, so I can't go and verify or deny any of your stats claims. So you should just make some outlandish claims right now because I can't even go against them.
I mean, overall it was like 60-something%, 56%, and then like 51 or 52%. It's not bad to end on.
Yeah, not too bad at all.
Mainly 2v2, but...
Double bait versus GUI. Well, 2v2, and you know, everyone has their own opinion on it. I say that myself and Andrew together are probably 2 of the biggest 2v2 fans in the game. You know, it's getting to sort of see it grow from the ground up in CRL. It seems like it keeps getting better every season.
Yeah, it felt bad focusing on it as a player because you don't get the... It's not emphasized as much. So, like, from a tension standpoint and, like, even for, like, teams, it's not as... Like, I focused on it. So I kind of wish I just kept doing 1v1 mainly. But, I mean, some people manage to do both, which those are the ones I'm most impressed with, like RF.
Yeah, RF.
And Morton. So.
Well, Morton is a guy who I don't think people really realized how good he was in Season 1 CRL EU, where he pretty much put SK Gaming on his back. Of course, some great performances there from his teammates. Loweye was pretty good that season. Matt had some great performances in big sweeps in King of the Hill. But Morton was an early pick of mine for MVP out of Europe. And then, of course, since then has gone on to be pretty much the consensus #1 competitive player, certainly of 2019, although RF making his argument to steal that moniker here in 2020.
Is it RF right now?
RF is.
I mean, they won, right? But I think JupiterKing has been the most impressive. But RF would be second for me there, I think.
JupiterKing had a great no-tilt league special edition, of course, and a great CRL. But, you know, you take a look at what RF has done, not just in CRL and the no-tilt special edition, but you add in, and that's going to be a tower down right-hand side. DiegoE taking game #1 off of Morton.
Pretty good matchup for DiegoE.
Yeah, solid one for him.
We didn't talk much about it.
I was starting to get into a Morton conversation, and then it was like, oh, who else do we talk about? RF? There you go. There's the stats from that last one. We'll see if Morton chooses to exercise his ban at this stage. And we'll talk more we'll get into RF more once RF and JupiterKing come up on board. We'll kind of get into the accolades for those two over the course of this season. Right now in front of us, of course, Morton, who is 5th, I believe is still 5th all-time in Grand Challenge wins. My last tallying was 436, although I'm sure he's added some more on in the last month or two.
I mean, there's not much reason to do it once you get a max account.
Other than to try to get yourself to be #1 on that list, I guess.
Yeah, but like, being high in Grand Challenge wins is more of a grind thing than a skill thing.
Sure.
So,
Over 1.34 million cards won, most ever for any player in Clash Royale.
Who is most? Oh, who is it?
Yeah, Morton, 1.34
Oh,
million.
it is Morton right now?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, you have like I mean, yeah, it's a cool thing to have, but in general, I think, I'm sure most pros don't play Grand Challenges anymore.
Well, you find me feeling that's different because every time I go into a Ground Challenge, it feels like it's 12 pros I'm playing against. But
well, I guess I mean, no, that's not true necessarily. I still played them for practice too, but I mean, the better practice is scrims, obviously. It's more that it's hard to find matches now.
Yeah, it is. It is certainly slowed down. Here we go, jumping into game number 2. Morton banning Tornado for this one. Fake Lapicati and Asia both in the family chat. Big time subs. Thank you for your cool looking gold names. I am looking for the light controller and just physically cannot find it anywhere.
Yeah, Morton is hard countered again. He should stop playing bait.
That's a pretty easy way to put it.
I mean, DiegoE played this deck twice in his last match, right? Yeah. Or no, that was somebody else. Did he play Hog?
No, Diego.
Was he one of the matches earlier today? No, or is this his first one?
DiegoE, you know what you saw? You're talking about him versus
Alperen
Anaban.
and them.
DiegoE and
Oh,
Anaban.
no, they did play earlier. Okay, so he did, right? I think so.
I wasn't watching those ones. Of course, last game was Graveyard for DiegoE, the Cream Royale Bettis player out of Mexico. 7.8K personal best on ladder.
Yeah, I mean, and there's lots of mind games that go into deck selection, so it's hard to say. But, I mean, he played it the first game too. But, yeah, it's been two kind of hardish counters. I mean, this matchup's harder than the previous one.
Yeah, well, you're going against
Morton.
But, you basically, I mean, going against Morton, the two things you plan for are bait and piggies.
Yeah, and this is the matchup that, who was it? Alperen kind of choked by missing the deep barrel against Samuel.
Yep.
So maybe that'll happen again.
Although that was just straight up log bait with Inferno Tower rather than double bait.
It was pretty similar, right? It was Skeleton Barrel and
was it
Goblin Barrel. He had Fireball, but it's almost the same deck.
It was.
He had Princess and Fireball.
You're right, it was double bait. I don't know why I thought it was just classic. Brain short.
It was like two different cards, I think. But yeah. Nah, it's hard to remember with all the different all the matches and decks.
You play like 500 of them.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to find right now is that all-time. I know Royale API has it. I'm trying to find that.
I personally didn't think it was Morton. I thought it was like B-Rad.
Well, I think B-Rad might be the most top 20-win challenge winners, or 12 Grand Challenge winners. But cards won is Morton. Yeah, B-Rad is most wins at 580. Followed by Wings. I'm not sure who that is because it's not in English. Hold on, I'll tell you. Oh, someone for Ponos is third, but I don't read Japanese. Probably Michi.
Or no, he's not on. He's not on it actually anymore. Maybe it's like.
But no, but he's as a creator, so it probably is Michi. And then Cody Go. Oh, Morton has dropped to 6th place. Benny, who's passed him up again. But 441 Grand Challenge wins for Morton at this point.
I mean, he may have stopped playing them.
Yeah, well.
I don't know.
He's still making it for content, I think.
Yeah, but not like a grind on them like used to. I feel like they need to change something about them to make it more.
Reduce the cost by half. That's my opinion. Make Grand Challenges 10 and Classics 5. Or Grand Challenges 25 and Classics 5.
Ooh, that would be great. I mean, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, that's with those money type things. It's hard, I guess. I would love that change, obviously.
Sure.
Seeing it kind of play out similarly. Like he's getting Morton. I think Morton playing this pretty well, but the chip is in favor of Diego. These Dart Goblins are definitely the key, though. You need to get a little bit of chip and the Skeleton Barrel damage, but Earthquake cycle kind of outpaces it by quite a bit.
Let's take
if anything, I would say...
Oh, go ahead. See what you're saying.
I was saying DiegoE's biggest thing that he doesn't have Bomb Tower. Bomb Tower is way more helpful in this matchup than Inferno Tower like we saw in the other matchup. So Inferno Tower makes it a little bit easier because Skeleton Barrel can be a little bit annoying. Oh, so he does have Fireball as well, so it's just... I think the other one had Princess. It was almost the same deck.
Pretty aggressive play here. If he can keep this Dark Goblin alive, that could be big. Log
it's going to be one hit. I don't think it matters, though. Unless this locks. Oh my god, it locked.
Oh, Dark Goblin gets on. 97 HP, Fireball in Morton!
Oh my god, Morton's insane.
Unbelievable. Twice now we've seen that one. My word.
Secretly, Bait has a matchup. No, I mean, that's definitely good for him. But he didn't do as good a job. He didn't get his... I feel like the Inferno Tower wasn't used as well. Like, he didn't like put it low to where it distracts the... Dark Goblin also pulled the barrel. I feel like that's what he needed more of. He was having problems there distracting the Skeleton Barrel.
DiegoE saving his ban for the moment, so we'll see where that one goes. But at the moment, DiegoE gonna hold on to it. Man, Morton, what a great game that was for one of the greatest to ever do it.
You can see with like large sample size, it's like an 80-20 matchup.
Yeah, pretty big sample size overall. Hold on, what am I missing here? Did I really do that? Hold on. Getting things.
I love this raw API overlay. It's real nice.
It is quite pretty. No questions there.
I really like the amount of like every card being used and stuff too. Like you can see how many times it's used. See, to me that's a big thing. Is DiegoE only uses defense once. I feel like you need to do it to block Skeleton Barrel damage. And also to... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just...
Oh, okay. I was saying, I think using your defense low to where it pulls the Skeleton Barrel, but also distracts the Dark Goblin to buy you time to use something else on it is the key there. And maybe it's a little bit more awkward because it's Inferno Tower, not a Bomb Tower, but I feel like that's probably what you need to do.
Morton... So far in his career, lifetime win rate in CRL of 61%. Oh no, that's not right. That's not right because it did not get this season. Man, why are my... Someone has been messing with my stat sheets. I need to go just fix some formulas. Well, not counting this season, lifetime win rate of 61%. And of course, part of that is an 88% win rate in King of the Hill in 2019 fall when SK Gaming won the CRL Western Championship. And 3 career sweeps overall in King of the Hill for the German player. All right. So RG Fisherman for DiegoE. All right.
And then Graveyard for Morton.
Yeah,
kind of a classic version of Graveyard.
Kind of an interesting version of Graveyard here with the Inferno Tower. Well, I guess, yeah,
so it's gonna be similar to that matchup we saw earlier, right? Like the Inferno Tower is very good against this deck, and Goblins not in this deck, which Goblins are better at distracting Inferno Tower than Skeletons. So I think this is Morton's matchup, but we'll see if the Diego can pull off any nice blocks. I think it'll be difficult without those Goblins, and then you can kind of expect the Skeleton Dragon block and play around it. And like fireballing an Inferno Tower does nothing for you.
Yeah, there you go. And you also got to wonder there if... hold on, what did I just... Sorry, getting lost over here for 1 second.
No worries.
Yeah, Royal Giant not able to break through against the Inferno Tower. I guess, I mean, the Skeletons do play a little bit faster, better cycle, maybe more useful on defense in some ways, but as you were saying, the Goblins getting...
Well, the thing that really won the match was those Goblins blocking the Inferno Tower. That's what won the match earlier when we saw a similar matchup with like Inferno Tower as a defense. It was like a one-time thing, but Skeletons, yeah, a little bit quicker cycle, but Morton cycles so fast that I don't think you're ever gonna... I mean, you're definitely never gonna out-cycle. Fireball does get through there, though. On that RG push or with the Inferno Tower.
And 978 on the left-hand lane remaining for Morton. Now it's DiegoE with the big pressure.
Honestly, not having log kind of hurts him. Oh, the skeletons do the same goblin job though. They distract there. He didn't fireball that time though. I wonder if he could have got fireball out. That would have been tower.
Well, the interesting thing here on Morton's side is that while the skeletons aren't as good at picking up the Inferno Tower, it's also harder for Morton to get the skeletons off in front of the Royal Giant unless the Princess Tower is doing it.
Oh, that may be game. Yeah, that's where he needed to put that Inferno Tower on the inside. But he opts for the Fisherman. Okay. I wonder, I think honestly Fireball would have been better there for him than Fisherman to get through the Inferno Tower quicker. Because like Knight's not that high of a DPS anyway, the Inferno Tower is the problem.
And Light Sama, I wasn't the one who said that, so don't give me the hard time there, but here we go. Graveyard in, left-hand side, Poison in, Heal Spirit working on defense. This should work out fine for DiegoE. So at this point, what does Morton have to do to win?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I feel like he needs opposite lane pressure. He does here. Dude, that's a really good snowball. But that Heal Spirit just makes those skeleton dragons live for so long. And the graveyard defense from DiegoE is pretty good. Well, the fireball is not good against the Inferno Tower if the Inferno Tower doesn't get blocked, or if any extra DPS is provided from like archers. Ideally, you archers and you Inferno Tower, and then he has to fireball one or the other. But that one push was enough, really.
Oh, there you go. Fireball in, and that's going to be a GG well played. DiegoE going to take round 3 of this matchup.
Picks up a win.
Haza asking who am I talking to? That's Colton on the board, and yeah, by the way, Colton, you can feel free to ignore Light when he throws out the heat there. He's just joshing. That's his game.
Oh yeah, no worries. Oh, that fireball did get him through, so it's true.
Curse of the Caster. You say something, and then immediately the exact opposite thing happens.
True. Yeah. See, I felt like I would have to rewatch what exactly happened leading up to that one push, but I feel like that's a pretty decent matchup for Morton. As the sample size shows, it's pretty close to even.
Yeah, not too bad one way or the other, so we'll see what Morton goes with. And
I mean, so often in Clash Royale, that's all it takes is one mistimed thing, one block. Even matchups can go very differently. All it takes is one push.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about this game where, you know, I watch quite a lot of Clash Royale. I'm not a great visual learner. I'm better reading for learning. And there's a lot of interactions that I've learned and picked up on, but just how steady are your fingers? And my family clan name, for those of in the family clan stream, it's Fat Fingers, and it's Fat Fingers for a reason, because the number of games that I've lost by one tile is almost uncountable. I don't think there is even a stat that could compare. The number of times that I've put something off by 1, and oh, that's GG, well played.
Mirror match. Wait, what's GG? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me misplaying is what the GG is.
Oh, I thought you meant the match we're watching.
No, when I miss something by
I was like,
tile.
it's a bit of damage, Rich, but don't give up on him.
Don't give up on Morton. Come on, man.
You're just counting him out. But that is a good start for DiegoE. The unfortunate thing there was, I mean, maybe it's too much fireball value, but the hunter wasn't able to DPS RG at all, so the RG just didn't have any like meaningful DPS on him.
Morton setting up behind King Tower in single. Talk to me through this choice here, Colton.
Trying to make use of his elixir lead mainly, I would say. Eventually this gets pulled. Ooh, that heal spirit was kind of bad.
Can't give it.
It's only one elixir, but ooh, that Barbara. I think this is maybe tower. It's tower. Yep. This is why Rich, so he can take the tower.
Yeah, I mean, far be it from me. I'm like, here, I was asking the question. I was like, if Morton's doing it, it has to be the right call, but conventional wisdom is don't throw a bunch of RGs, don't throw RG behind King Tower in single. And
yeah, I mean, it's the mirror and the enemy RG. I don't know that it was immediately in cycle. I think he had to cycle something first. But I mean, it's good to drop your win condition in the back. I mean, unless you're against like P.E.K.K.A. or something, or like another beatdown deck. It's good to put it in the back to capitalize on like an elixir lead.
And now with Fisherman nowhere near, going to be a big RG push. Morton should be 3 crowning here in just a minute. Going Gonna get 2 more shots from the RG. GG, well played. Fireball finishes it off, and Morton evens things up in this best of 5.
Wow. Richard just counted Morton out, but I knew he could come back.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm always like, hey, Morton, that guy doesn't know what he's doing, right? I mean, name one German who's good at Clash Royale, right? Just one.
Schwarzen.
And he's not bad. Not bad at all.
But not more than XOP, Sam. Those guys suck.
Yeah, oh man, brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Don't-
Bans are
don't
Tornado
quote
and
me.
Fisherman. Don't quote. Yeah, no, quote.
Yeah,
it.
so-
Somebody add him, by the way, on that one, by the way. If you guys can clip it.
So
and
so
add
looking
Colton.
back at it, when he RG'd in the back, he was at like a 2 elixir lead. DiegoE went opposite lane. It really was just how the fisherman played out too. So it was kind of lucky. But I don't know why. It was a weird fisherman by DiegoE. So he went RG at the bridge, which I think should have been the only thing he did, or just defend. So the fisherman from Morton pulled the enemy fisherman over the bridge, so it was like a free fisherman, like 3 elixir loss for DiegoE. Then DiegoE used a heal spirit that didn't heal anything, and then the RG that was on the other side got pulled into the E-Wiz and the other tower, so it didn't even finish taking the tower. And then Morton barb barreled, and it killed the skeletons that were going to block the fisherman from pulling the enemy hunter, and then that happened. So just a series of interactions that went terrible for DiegoE.
And that is Clash Royale Radio Theater by Colton. If you want to hear more games described without actually seeing them, subscribe to Colton on whatever he's streaming on these days, where he'll be doing just face cam describing Clash Royale games as they come up. Here we go. Game number 5. Morton and DiegoE. Do you think that would work? Do you think you could do Clash Royale just on the radio like someone does for basketball or things like that? Or is that completely impossible?
I mean, for me, it'd be similar. Like, it would kind of suck, but it's still useful if you. But then again, you just have a phone where you can pull the stream on. So why would you ever do it?
Yeah, people always ask me about podcasts for esports content, and I'm like, who's into esports but wants to do a podcast version of it rather than watching a YouTube video or a stream?
Yeah, I used to do them. I mean, they're just. It's not as like on demand content that esport viewers kind of want. Ooh, the earthquake's kind of bad.
EQ misses. Hunter going to stop that Hog Rider from getting anywhere near tower, and now a good counter push coming in from Morton. Not going to support it, though, by anything significant. Fireball making room there for the Hunter, forcing the skeletons out. Hunter not going to get a shot, though. Well-played surround by the Cream Royale Betis player.
Morton going from one RG deck to a different RG variant. DiegoE playing Hog again.
Is this the deck we've seen the most today, this Hog triple spell? Really feels like it.
Yeah, I feel like it, yeah. It's pretty fast cycle. People like fast cycle.
Hog to the right-hand side. Cage misses from
Well,
Morton.
that'll do it. That is probably tower.
And now Morton just has to be set up behind the RG and try to get this one back on this push, maybe. Oh, boy.
No, that's game. He just lost.
Wow.
So,
Talk about fat fingers. There's the example right there. Even the great Morton, one of the top competitive players of all time, misses
that'll
one
happen
Goblin
versus
Cage.
Hog. Yeah, it just came out like half a second too late. That's all it was. Now he can be earthquake cycled, so there's no way he comes back unless DiegoE disconnects.
What if he's attacked by a lion?
That would do it too.
Does he live near a lion? Can anyone get Morton a lion?
I don't think so.
2 RGs down.
2 RG. I don't think it matters.
18
if
seconds
it's on
left.
tower. Wait, why is he throwing out a spell during that though? Why not just wait?
And that's going to be a GG. Royal Giant. 2 Royal Giants, not enough for tower. And DiegoE takes out Morton in game number 5.
I mean, that's a nervous thing though. I guess it had to be. I mean, it doesn't matter because he won still. But he threw out that snowball like while he was defending, but he could have just waited until after he was done defending.
I guess maybe just wanted to be sure he didn't leave that tower on the board.
Yeah, or maybe he didn't realize that time wasn't already, like it already wasn't overtime or something. I do that sometimes, like where I don't realize that the game the time's not up and we're still like in regulation.
So there you have it. DiegoE going to be the one moving on to our next phase. So where he will be facing against Reichert. It would have been a German-on-German matchup, but instead it's going to be DiegoE facing Reichert in the quarterfinals.
The chat said never count Morton out. I didn't say for the series. I said for that one game. I said he was done when that hog connected in that game.
Yeah, that might have been a trouble one there. And
no, DiegoE's been pretty impressive recently. He's good.
So he'll move on to face Reichert. Of course, Leo Vargas has moved on in this bracket as well. Bassotto. We're still waiting on TNT versus Michi Foo, iAmJP versus SaintBelikin, and of course the God RF versus JupiterKing. So a few big-time matches. And coming up next, guys, the British bomber, SaintBelikin, taking on the golden hair, golden boy from Barcelona, Spain, iAmJP. And Colton, I'm sure you watched pretty carefully this season. What happened where Team Queso went from dominating at the No-Tilt League Special Edition and then struggling so heavily in CRL West?
I mean, their 1v1 just wasn't there. The 2v2 was great still, but the 1v1 did not do well. And it's surprising because Ruben has like never had a bad season of anything that I've watched. But yeah, it was just the 1v1s.
Yeah,
King of the Hill and 1v1.
That's actually a really good point. Is a lot of people who only watch from CRL and have not watched the rest of competitive Clash Royale kind of seem like they don't have the most direct opinion. Like their opinion of Ruben is very limited. And Colton, I think you put it very well there, that I don't think I've seen Ruben have a bad season of anything up until this point.
Yeah, exactly. And he's their 1v1, so he had to perform. I mean, I picked him to win season, I think, but the 2v2 was there like I thought it would be, just the 1v1 wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was them or Tribe that I picked. And Tribe, of course, was, in my opinion, basically in what looked like the most competitive matchup, like the real finals, some said. So, I mean, Tribe was very close. I think Tribe wins the finals if they do win their match against Space Station, which went down to the last one.
Deepfake Lapacati saying on the family chat, give a shout out to NC Alex, who does all the timestamps for these videos on YouTube. Yeah, big, huge shout out. Guys, if you do watch these on YouTube for the replay, and of course, let me go ahead and throw that into the chat here in just a second. NC Alex goes and does timestamps for every single game, and nice descriptions, adds in some fun little pieces to see as well, some extras beyond just the actual matchups. So big shout out NC Alex for the huge timestamps. We'll see if he watches this closely enough that he catches this one, timestamps his own shout out. We'll find that out later. Here we go. iAmJP up against SaintBelikin. And I think a lot of people were excited to see Belly. You know, if there's one windfall of all the issues that have happened here in 2020, it's that Belikin ended high school early, got to come back to Clash Royale League one season before expected.
Mm-hmm. Did JP not throw his bar barrel out the tower? Wait, oh, it's bugged on my screen. I couldn't see the snowball. Okay, I see. So Belikin snowballed the bar barrel. Okay.
Hey, some new followers. Refrux, Vrav. Oh, Vrav's already a follower, but Refrux, thanks for following. I really do appreciate it because of your follow. Let me tell you something right now. A baby bird just caught its first worm. There you go. GG, well played.
So, that interaction. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there goes Lava Loon, left-hand lane. Big Lava Loon push.
Wait,
Ram Rider down in response.
I don't know if that's not going to be... It's going to be like 2 balloon hits here.
Raged up, trying to get by. Snowball stops it.
Oh, good. Yeah. The JP's deck has very good balloon defense.
Oh, so you think that Ewiz, Snowball, and Ram Rider are all good against Balloon, huh?
Inferno Dragon, too.
OP Samuel Bassotto, thank you very much for your follow, man. And big thanks, you know? That's all I got to say about that. And thank you, Raid Pro, for your follow. Because of your follow, OP Samuel Bassotto's follow means even more.
Yeah, this matchup very, very hard for Belikin. What? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe that helps a little bit, but never mind. Never mind.
Never mind. Now you mind.
I forgot he saw the card left. Yeah, that'll be bad. This is just more value for Mega Knight. This left-hand push is looking pretty threatening, though. I feel like that's not a good place to play your Ram Rider, right?
You don't play your Ram Rider on purpose in order to win a game?
Everyone keeps losing matchups that look favorable for them. I don't like it. Well, it may not be over yet.
That's going to be a balloon connection on the left-hand side. There it goes. Kaboom! Tower down. Belly gets a King Tower activation, a tower kill, and might have even just won himself a free trip to the Bahamas off of that one.
So, I mean, like, why would you play a Ram Rider into 4 defensive, or like 4? When there was just a Lumberjack, I was like, ooh, that seems a bit risky. And then he played into a Lumberjack, 2 minions, and a Royal Recruit.
Yeah, it was weird in terms of the, I think the Mega Knight to the right-hand side, 7 Elixir going to those 3, and maybe that was what the split for Belly was all about, was force JP to make a bad choice. Mega Knight goes right, and what's left to play defense on the other side? I don't know.
Well, also I want to rewatch that. I'm gonna pull out the radio again. One second.
I do like it. We'll see what JP chooses to ban. Maybe he'll just.
It says that balloon has matchup. That's a super small sample size.
And not the exact matchup data as well. Only 7 of 8 for that one.
Yeah. I feel like the Mega Knight against the Royal Recruit should be really useful, but I mean, the game started out going super well for him. I mean, that Ram Rider was real bad.
SaintBelikin's personal best on ladder, 85-26.
Well, also he dropped an Inferno Drag at the back that was basically worthless, and then kind of an over-aggressive Fireball too. Yeah, he had like Snowball and like low E-Wiz and stuff. He didn't have to play Ram Rider, so that was just a bad misplay by JP.
Well, JP banning Balloon after losing that last one, so I guess going right after what he didn't like, despite having a pretty good situation there. iAmJP down 1 right now to the British bomber SaintBelikin. Or is it, here's a question now, half the time I see it SaintBelikin, half the time it's just Belikin now. You never know with these players.
We've always called them both. I mean, he didn't have room for his full name because of the cream acronym or whatever, because you have a character limit. But usually people just call him Belikin for short, but he keeps it as Saint Belly.
So here we go, game number 2, Belly with the advantage coming to this one. Of course, here's the bracket for you guys watching live on stream. If you're watching on YouTube, no bracket for you, no bracket link, because I don't want you to spoil the match for yourselves by going and looking on challenge and seeing all the results. Of course, I will throw the bracket on the final video for this one.
So now that the British bomber doesn't have the balloon for bombs, he has to play the actual bomber, correct?
Yeah, it has to be. Also, how many B words can you get into one sentence? That was phenomenal. Now that the British bomber doesn't have balloon, he has to play the. What's a word for compelled? That's a B word. Man, I almost got it.
Bobligated.
He's bobligated to play the bomb tower.
Yeah.
There we go. I think we nailed it. Piggy's to the right-hand side. Baby Dragon going to play some defense, but not that well. That's going to be a ton of damage on the right-hand lane.
See, this is where if he had a bomber, he would be doing great. Bomber would have taken care of those piggies way better. Does he have bomb tower? Or does he have like? It's bar putt, right?
It's in the modern meta. It feels like bar putt, but we'll see when Belly gets up to 10 here what he does. Yash asking the British bomber means. It's a nickname. What does any nickname mean?
Well, it means that he's British and that he
drops bombs.
Yeah.
That's about it. Mr. Maddock asks, is Rich Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury? I don't watch pillow fighting. I watch mixed martial arts.
I have no opinion on that.
It's a good boxing match, guys. I'm just playing.
No, he means it. Be offended.
Everything I do say is intended for offense, guys. I don't know if you guys knew that.
This is aggressive.
Nice.
Ooh, that's poison value. That is some big old poison value. It is bomb tower. Was it not in cycle earlier? He took so much damage.
Must not have been, or maybe he was low on elixir. I don't remember the exact sequence of that.
Well, he played Baby Drag, which is also 4 elixir. But did it come down after the pig got the tower? That could be a situation where you decide not to bomb tower.
4-2 split to the left-hand lane for iAmJP.
Royal Recruit seems so tanky.
Well, they're a fascinating card that really, you know, whether they are popular or not depends on how strong Fisherman is. That's pretty much it.
And they take a lot of skill.
Yeah, I mean, you have 3 whole ways you can play them. I guess you can technically, you could call it 6 or 9 whole ways, but really 6 ways you can play them. You can go 4-2 to the left.
Front, back, side to side.
Yeah. Yeah, you can play them. You can play them like the. Oh man, what's that song? To the left, to the left.
Does it have a shake in it or something?
It's not the. Someone in the chat's just probably screaming themselves. Tell us in the chat, what's the song where like, to the left, to the left.
It's the one they play at like dances.
Yeah, it's like they replaced the Macarena as and the Electric Slide as the line dance of choice for birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, weddings. Not Tootsie Roll. The Cha-Cha Slide. There you go.
Okay.
That's the one.
I said
Slide.
shake. I meant I was thinking slide. Yeah.
Man,
we're really on topic right here.
Yeah, I know. It's always great when you make a reference and don't actually nail it. When you're like, hey, I'm about to make a reference. What was the reference I was trying to make, man? Come on.
Yeah.
Anyone else got it? I'm lobbing it.
I mean, I was right. They do go front. They can be placed in the front, the back, or a little bit to the side.
Yeah. No, there are technically 6 ways to play them if you want to be generous. You go to the left, to the middle, to the right, and you either go forward or back. That's it. Shake it out now.
Having poison for the Royal Hog player there helped a lot, and then getting that early damage really came down to it.
Belikin banning Skeleton Dragons after this one, so the 2 bans. Let's see. Hold on, we're getting a little confusion in the bans here. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you know, I will say I quite like it that CR, even at such a high level, like frequently, and this isn't the best example because smaller matchup size, but like matchups that are like advantageous. Like if you played them 10 times, the other deck would probably come out victorious more. But with like pro plays and such a short match time, quite often the disadvantaged matchup and doesn't actually win. So I like it.
And here we go, guys. Results we've seen so far over on this side of the screen. Of course, we've had a lot of Clash Royale left to be played. And a little delay here because the admin said the wrong ban for a second, but the bans are going to be Balloon and Skeleton Dragons. So everything is kosher. No problems here. And we'll be getting into our next game very shortly. Things all tied up right now between iAmJP and SaintBelikin. Only a few more matches left in this round of 16. Someone in the chat saying card bans are stupid. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that one to you, Colton. Why are card bans very not stupid in Clash Royale?
Well, I agree with him. They are awful. No, I'm just kidding. I think it adds another element of skill, right? And if you look at other competitive esports, they all have bans on wide like card pools, I guess, like champions and league, and like all games eventually add bans as another element of skill. And if anything, they're pretty easy to implement quickly. Like in League, they have these long draft phases where bans kind of go on for a long time, but in Clash Royale, they take all of like 10 seconds. So I think it's really cool. It adds, and it lets you see a little bit of different decks. And I don't really think it shapes the meta in a way that like you wouldn't normally see because of how many cards there are. There's always replacements for that card, even if it's a little bit different. So it forces people off the same deck, and you get to see different stuff, and the strategies that result are pretty cool.
And one other thing important
is it clone? That would be cool.
I mean, Flying Machine, Skeleton Barrel, it feels like clone, and Belly's a cloner.
It is. I think it is. It's like it's gonna be like Giant Skeleton. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna get filthy. This is gonna get real filthy.
Let's go! This is so funny to watch. I hate playing against it, but it's awesome to watch.
It's so obnoxious. Good heal spirit there from JP.
At least it's obnoxious in a funny way. Like it's not like Eagle where it's like everyone involved is just sad. Clone, like it's exciting.
Yeah, Clone at least has like a thing that happens that's fun. Clone against 3M, very interesting.
That's not good for the cloner.
Yeah.
3M is pretty good at shredding lots of units. But those skeleton barrels, though. Ooh, a little bit late, but nah.
Our barrel does all right. Now,
Look at the bomb, though. Yeah. So not terrible. Belikin was good to go in for the clone there.
oh boy. Oh
Let's
boy.
go, Belly. I just want to clone.
You just want to see a good clone play.
Yeah.
I'd say that probably the most exciting clone play I've seen was Expo Master. I think he gets Elsiop at World Finals in 2018 when Expo Master
yeah.
KCDX.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, that room went wild when that clone popped off. That crowd was really, really fun. I mean, both the crowds at World Finals were super duper fun. That crowd at World Finals in Japan was super fun, and when that clone popped off, that was a roar in the room.
Yeah, it's an exciting card. I like cards like that, and it has like perfect balance. Like it's good every now and then, but you don't want it to be meta really. I think where it is right now is perfect, as opposed to when it was like actually kind of OP. Ooh, that fireball, was that predictive? I feel like that was out before the hunter was out.
Might have been.
I think he was he expecting barbs maybe though.
Might have
Either
been.
way, it worked out.
But giant
King Tower
skeleton.
activation.
Oh, look at that! Perfect clone from Belly. Oh my
I didn't know
word.
that interaction. It canceled the pull.
Oh my god! Wow, that was crazy.
I did not know that. Oh, the fireball misses.
JP
All
can't
right.
believe what just happened. The chat can't
feel
believe what just happened. My grandmother, who she passed away in like 1998, can't believe what just happened. From the dead. No one knows what just happened. SaintBelikin with the clone interaction. Everyone's going to be trying against Fisherman now. Wow. That was wild. Colton, are you alive?
That was awesome. I didn't know that was an interaction. I didn't know that.
That was
awesome.
insane.
I wonder if Belly knew that.
Yeah,
Like
he had to.
No matter what, it's a good clone because you can get the cloned one onto the tower. But I didn't know it worked like that.
Guys, that was crazy.
And I feel like that's a fairly good matchup for JP. Maybe not. Sample size is so small on that one, but I feel like 3M is one of the things that are pretty good against clone. And he had fireball for the. I guess if anything, the problem is he doesn't have a fast cycle.
Yeah, I mean, you can use Ice Golem to pop some clones, I guess, but... And JP in the chat saying, WTF clone, laughing so hard I'm crying face, very well played. Even JP has to give a little bit of love for...
I mean, that's something... Belikin is like the best top player that uses it, so it's always great when he pulls it out.
Yeah. God, that was fun.
Yeah, but no, the timing was... I mean, he hit everything. It was like a normal clone that you would do anyway, but yeah, it ended up to cancel the pull.
And that cloned cannon cart took a lot of shots from the King Tower, says Hardway, pointing that out in the chat. I was wondering how that cloned cannon cart was surviving for so long. But you know what it was?
It's a bug with Heal Spirit. That's another reason maybe the deck's a little bit better. Heal Spirit can heal clone troops past the one shot.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's why you use it in clone as well.
And they're just taking their time right now. Belly just celebrating that move. The whole chat, by the way, tons of people in the chat right now, all kind of sitting there going like, what the heck just happened? Did you see that? Glitch says, Latak, yeah, that's what we're talking about. I don't know. That's interesting. That is an interesting interaction. I wonder, I mean, I haven't ever checked with Supercell on whether that's actually a glitch or whether that's intentional. Oh my, I'm not even going to get into what's going on in the chat right now. The chat has been, no, I'm not showing the chat, guys. I'm not showing it. The chat is bananas right now. This is chat's private, everybody. By the way, if you screenshot chats and then post them on Twitter.
You're a narc.
Yeah, you're a rat. Don't screenshot chats, guys. That's my general rule. Yeah, I'm not showing you guys. The chat's kind of nuts right now. It's fun. Yeah, that clone was absolutely crazy. I had a train of thought I was getting to, and then I lost it because the chat was going so nutty. Here we go. Let's just watch more Clash Royale. How about that? Right now, Belly up 2 with match point here against the golden-haired golden boy from Barcelona, Spain. That's the word.
Also, Caster Colton called the clone, so
yeah,
let it be known.
Strong move. Strong move.
I've got another ones wrong today, but every now and then you get one right.
Yeah, no, and the ones you get right are way more important, by the way.
Exactly.
Guanas, you want to know how Morton lost? Well, guess what? Go subscribe to me on YouTube. You can watch the replay of this, which will be up very, very soon. And by the way, guys, like I said before, I'm giving away one of those Supercell super boxes. Going to be giving that away on a no-tilt stream in the upcoming weeks. But the only people who can get that giveaway are subs to my YouTube channel. So if you want a shot at getting one of those big boxes, go sub to me on YouTube.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
This is so good for Belly.
Uh-oh. Oh, Lord.
Ewiz got used. It needed to be the other way, basically. Like, Ewiz needed to support the RG, and Hunter needed to be used on the lava. He gets back to 100, though. He's pretty low on elixir, though.
Yeah, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That's going to be a lot of damage in the left-hand lane. Belly going to go out.
Oh, no. Did that Ewiz? It just died. I remember in 2v2, sometimes you would see people use Ewiz, and it would like, was that a zap? Because it would just like instantly die. I remember you guys talking about that. That was one of those Ewizzes that was only a zap.
So here's a question, and I don't know, but I haven't checked, but Supercell and Latak is talking about it in the chat as a potential bug. I wonder if that heal spirit thing is a bug or if it's meant to heal past the clone value.
I mean, I imagine. I mean, I feel like that's a bug, but I've known about it for a while. It's been a thing for ever since it was. I mean, there's not a whole lot of like use cases because clone's not as popular, but yeah, it's always been a thing. Heal spirit over heals things. Like it heals into the pool of health that they can have when they're an actual unit.
I kind of think that's cool. I don't know why. I kind of think that's neat.
I think it would be a problem if it was OP, but I don't really think it's OP, so I think it's fine.
Yeah,
I guess.
like sometimes works.
It's kind of weird because you don't really expect it because clone units get one shot, but then again, when you clone guards, they have like, I mean, in like cannon guard, they keep the shield or whatever, so.
Man,
I don't know.
Belly is playing with house money right now, completely ahead. Up 2-1.
Yeah, that opening sequence was very favorable for him.
Who am I going to call with? Colton. Also, there's a W83 there in case you wanted to go for the whole shebang.
Or Cold Talon, all are acceptable.
Yep.
I think he's losing both towers. Oh no, he saved the right one. No, he saved the left one too, kind of. But it's probably gonna die soon. Ooh, the catch.
Good catch on that miner. Will it mean much? Probably not a whole lot. Fireball hits nothing out of Belly.
It means the game lasts a little bit longer.
That is true.
Wait, did he not hit tower?
He hit the tower, but didn't hit any
No,
troops.
he missed. I watched the background stream. He missed, I think.
RG going to get 2 shots on the right-hand side. No, just one. 1173 to the right-hand lane, 270 on the left.
If he loses somehow, it'll be the fault of that fireball. I don't think he'll lose, though.
And Miner goes in. GG, well played. No, Ewiz catches, but...
The big drag, though.
Yeah, Baby Dragon. Belch, belch. Belly moves on.
Bleh.
That's a perfect impression.
Bleh.
Guys, if you're looking for any voiceover on future Baby Dragon-themed movies, you can
I am voice actor.
find Colton at ColtonW83_. Is that right?
I am proficient in Texan, y'all.
That is true. I do feel bad. I feel bad for Thunderstruck because he had to play SaintBelikin.
Died for this?
He did die. He died a horrible death. D-Lou saying, "My name is now Rich Slayton Jr." Congratulations, man. You don't get any of my inheritance, though. When I leave behind my baby dragon and my streamlights, they don't go to
It goes to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Colton just jumped over my son in my inheritance list. It's a weird relationship.
I'm really tall, so it's not that hard to jump over him.
Strong move. But Baby Boy Slayton
Yeah.
hit 36 inches. Turns 2 in a week. 3 feet
I
tall.
I'm 6'3", 12 times 6, 72, 75. Is that right?
I don't know. I got every single semester, every single year in math, I would get an A first semester, and then I would get a C second semester. So.
Yeah, you gotta fall off. It's pretty boring.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. Coming up next. This is going to be a fire one. TNT and Michi Foo. Who's ready for this one?
Someone in chat is my father.
Someone in chat? Just a random individual?
Yeah, I don't know who that guy.
So, Belly moving on. As I was saying before, I feel a little bad for our good buddy Thunderstruck. Oh, here we go. Let's jump into our game. Feel a little bad for Thunderstruck because he had to play against Belly without the help of my Scottish accent in the round of 32. And my Scottish accent combined with Thunderstorm's gameplay was undefeated in this event. And unfortunately, without the... Oh my gosh, it's going to be Michi Foo playing Expo. Game number 1, right into the Lava Hound. Is there a fireball here? Nope, he's playing Ice Rocket instead.
I can't help but think picking Lava into the guy that his best deck is Ice Bow is not the best choice.
Yeah, maybe thinking he wouldn't play it in game number 1, but big miscalculation here. The Fred, by the way, it's Ice Fred. That's one of the renames. So, of course, Royal Recruits is now called 6-Man, and apologies for calling it Royal Recruits in the last couple games, guys. I've made a huge mistake there. We did rename the Expo Fred, just because how can you be intimidated by something called Fred?
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah, like Ice Fred.
Expo, I think, maybe. Okay, that's not that bad of a defense. I didn't expect ceiling fan. Didn't expect ceiling fan.
Strong move there on the ceiling fan call.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jake, also with tennis ball somewhere out there.
Let's see, let's see, let's see. So, this is looking, I mean, if anything, the fireball bait does help TNT's case because Michifu obviously running the rocket. If he was running fireball, the game would be over already. But with rocket, maybe TNT has a chance, but either way, kind of rough to play. Lava Hound into Ice Bow.
Yeah, so
Especially when the Ice Bow player it's his best deck. Like,
yeah. So I'm not going to give Icepo any help here because it doesn't need it. When you're trying to play this matchup from TNT's side, what are you trying to do here?
I mean, I think how he has been playing it really. You try to. I mean, you want to try to build a significant damage dealing push, but also so you gotta let the Exo lock on some, and then just kind of commit to your push, which he has done so far. But as you can see, Iso's defense is ridiculous, so he's gotten more damage than I would have expected. But this counter push should destroy him.
I mean, at this level of gameplay, obviously talking about like this might be the matchup data on this might be 60-40 according to Royale API. At this level of gameplay, how do you rate this matchup?
I mean, Ice Bow is favored. If he had Fireball, it'd be a hard counter, but I mean, like 65-35 or something like that. TNT is getting close, but I think he's ultimately going to lose.
Oh my word!
Ice Bow's Lux.
Does he stop this Expo here? Barb's down low.
Rocket kills.
But Rocket's going to kill it now. Oh, I think Rocket is just shy. Isn't Rocket 370 down? Log comes in and finishes it off, though.
I mean, I think TNT played that like almost flawlessly. I mean, ideally, you want to go opposite lane with your Lava Hound and tower trade, but like a good Expo player knows not to do that. So you're not, and it's kind of like the Expo player has quick cycle. He can choose what he wants to do in that situation. So, but no, like I said, the matchup is not as bad for the Lava player because of the Fireball bait, and you can see on that's such a limited sample size, but it actually says Lava has matchup. The Fireball bait does make it quite more difficult.
That sample size, that looks like 19 matches. Like one person practiced this matchup against like two guys in a clan who don't know this matchup, practiced it, and the Lava Hound player won it a bunch. That's what that looks like to me.
Yeah. So, like I said, it would be much better for Michifu if he had Fireball. Like, I think 2.6 would be a better matchup than Iceville here. But also, Michifu is, like, one of the best Iceville players ever, so.
Yeah, certainly knows how to play it.
Certainly, if you're going to try to counter Expo, Lava's not the deck you're going with.
Yeah. So I'm curious about TNT's choice here in game number 1. We'll see what he does in game number 2. And the ban is not going to be played here. So saving the ban is TNT at this stage. Here we go.
So how do those work? They can just use it whenever they want?
What I don't know is if they can use it whenever they want or only after they've taken a loss specifically.
And then they get 2 bans or just 1?
Just the 1 ban. You get a single, but you get a ban given to you on your first loss. I just don't know if when you save it, if you can use it whenever you want.
Oh yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah. That's
so you
the
could just.
question.
I mean, so it's not even saving. It's just deciding not to do it. I mean, it's a save, I guess.
Yeah, it's a save. It's holding on to it for a minute.
Yeah.
And Mr. Maddock in the chat on the family side saying TNT probably thought Michi wouldn't go Ice-Bow first game. Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, yeah, I can see that line of thought.
That'd be my evaluation as well. Guys, the OP light isn't on, and I don't know where the controller went. Did I drop it? What happened? I feel so bad because it's so pretty. Curtis, thank you, AMG, for my light. It's one of my sub privileges to turn the light on. Yeah, Knight, I know I want to fight. We need to see it. It's huge. Fake Lapo. Rich, talk about your favorite type of band. My favorite type of band is triple bands. That's my favorite type, which Colton came in and commented on one time. It's wacky. It's different. And, of course, Belly is even better with triple bands.
Wait, what? Are you talking about
when you came
the game
on
mode in the game?
When you came on and did the BO5 where we did a band draft to open up? Didn't you?
Oh yeah, but that didn't. We didn't get. It was Lewis, right? So we didn't really get to see like a real one.
Oh, was it Lewis versus RF? Was that the one it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lewis versus RF.
Those are cool though. Those do get a little bit in the territory of like too much, but they're also they're fun. So
they're fun.
I like them.
They're fun. Yeah.
For competitive, I think one band from each person is probably good.
Yeah, you're probably right. Hold on. Now I'm trying to find, guys. I'm trying to see if I can find this controller here. I'm gutted that it's not on. Absolutely gutted. Here we go. TNT going to request our next game here in just 1 second. We'll continue along with this best of 5. Man, where did I just? You know what? I thought I had it all set up. I got everything ready for the day, and now nothing.
All right.
It was me. I hit it.
Yeah, darn it, man. Knew I shouldn't have let you in. Shouldn't give you the passcode to my house, by the way. I have not used a key for a house key in so long because we have those like keypads for entry.
I'm streaming from your closet. My audio.
Well, things has changed here drastically. And Michi
Foo,
yeah, Michi Foo going. So here's a question for you, and I ask this of a lot of people when they're on stream here.
Yes.
Why do so few people play their first Goblin Barrel in that position, in that safe spot, not knowing whether they're against NATO or not? Are they just wrong?
Whether they do or don't.
Most people, even pros, don't play their first Goblin Barrel in the safe spot. They play it surround. And they'll often open with it or play it early.
Maybe it's not as important with log bait, I guess. As you can see, TNT kind of went safe spot in the first one, even though Michifu doesn't have NATO. I don't know, like it's a habit thing again, I think, but Goblin Logbait doesn't care that much about King Tower activation. Like, sure, it's annoying, but I would say it's more annoying for like Hog Rider and Balloon decks, I guess.
Hardway saying because you can turn it out to King Tower anyway. Yeah, but it's a much harder King Tower activation than just like the no.
Well, the other thing is when they pull it, like if you're letting a Goblin Barrel get stabs, it's significant damage no matter what, even if King Tower's there.
Sure.
So like, and NATO isn't a good defense against Goblin Barrel in the future unless you're doing like, I mean, you can do the spot. If it's tank 4 though, it's not. So it's not the end all be all if you get King Tower activation. It's a little bit annoying though, so you can probably be safe, but I don't think it kills you if you're not safe either.
First time seeing Giant Miner Night Witch today. This is a pretty popular deck in recent metas, but this is the first time it's coming out in this round of 16.
Yeah. The Fisherman with the giant push is nice.
There's the bracket for you folks one more time if you want to follow along at home. Oh, I almost accidentally shut down OBS. That would have been horrific.
I like something someone else said is Tornado's not as popular in this meta. So maybe that's another reason.
Yeah,
but in that case, people should stop doing it with Miner. Which people do argue that, and with Miner, you might as well just throw it anywhere as well. Which I see the argument. If you're against NATO, you certainly don't want to throw it anywhere, though.
How many fewer hits does a Miner get on tower with activation versus non-activation? An uncontested Miner.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's like half as much damage.
I know a Hog gets 3 feet. There's a Hog, uncontested Hog gets 7, and uncontested Hog with a King Tower activation gets 4.
Yeah, I don't know. In Florida, it's probably somewhere with Miner. Like it gets a little less, like a little more than half the hits, I would imagine. Because King Tower does the same damage, but it like shoots a little bit slower. Correct, I think.
I thought they standardized it, but maybe I'm wrong about the speed.
Oh, you may be right. I mean, you don't really see, like, usually if the King's activated, the game's, well, like, if it's not like a NATO activation, if the King Tower's activated, usually game's in 1-0.
Hey, Hardway, thanks for the follow. Appreciate
and
that.
it's even if it isn't, it's close enough that it doesn't make that much of a difference. It just seems like another tower.
So here we go. Final minute, 20 seconds. Giant with a pretty significant push behind it. TNT will be trying to get back to a second Giant while this plays out here at the bridge, and he does. And good for
Oh, that Fisherman.
That Fisherman is huge on the Princess, and the E-Wiz stays behind the Giant on top of that.
Oh, that Heal Spirit went off. That may be game.
What an insane and important sequence of events there for TNT to get things all tied up here, most likely in game number 2. I really thought that E-Wiz was going to stay in front of the Giant.
Yeah, I was wondering how that was going to play out as well. Minor Fireball to finish it off, most likely. Heal Spirit's so good, man.
And good minor variance.
Wait.
King Tower activation with the Snowball.
Okay.
Cheeky there from Michi Foo at this stage.
He went for a defensive Fireball. It was actually good that he did because the Snowball kept it from being like death range on the tower. Heal Spirit. Oh my gosh, it's nasty. It just keeps everything alive there.
And that's going to be one log away from finishing off, and TNT going to win game number 2. And what we saw, one thing we saw there that I think is really important to point out is the use of Heal Spirit defensively, as opposed to trying to always make it part of an offensive play, whether offensive play or a bridge battle.
Yeah, and your opponent can't get rid of it if it's used on defense to heal their troops, really.
Yeah, unless they're perfectly timing a spell on it, which is insane.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that like log, but that's kind of like if you can avoid that by placing it certain ways.
Hardway asking when CRLS starts. This fall. Aiming for sometime in September, but no official date released yet. So waiting to see if Michi Foo does.
It's a secret, but he won't tell you guys.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a good way to put it. No official date announced.
And I have no idea whether he knows actual date or not. I'm just saying that to troll.
I do know some secrets here and there. So TNT tying things up in that last game. Here's a good look at the results. Of course, if you guys are just joining us right now, all the scores here along this side, and some surprises, some non-surprises. Which result kind of has you shocked the most so far today, Colton?
I mean, Morton losing probably, but that was pretty close.
Yeah, that one came down to late.
Maybe SergioRamos winning. He showed pretty good form.
He was on it today, so 2 teammates maybe expected the opposite results coming around to different sides. SergioRamos will be moving on, and of course Morton losing to DiegoE in that round. Michi Foo banning Fisherman for our next round, so Fisherman will be off the board for the remainder of this best of 5. And of course, if Michi Foo does win here, or the winner here goes on to face Samuel Bassotto in the next round, and Bassotto is a guy who has been great on ladder. Didn't really put it together in CRL last year, but of course looked pretty good for a space station this time around.
Yeah, no, I mean, and Samuel, I mean, it's hard with limited games. I mean, CRL, especially like in last season too, for other players, was real short. So it's hard to judge them just on few games, and nerves are an issue. But Samuel very good. I mean, I guess in the past maybe his deck pool was kind of small, but he's always been a real talented player.
What team do you think benefits the most from an extended season compared to the shortened season we had last time around?
Tribe, because I think the more games they get, the less RNG it is with how talented their roster is. I think they have the most talented roster probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty stacked. Azaleas, of course. And this actually gets quite quick. You're the right person to talk to about this one. And by the way, those of you guys asking, and rocket to the 2 Musketeers, going to be pretty nice there for Michi. Acronixel asking who man call with, and call with Colton formerly of Complexity Esports, who of course helped pioneer 2v2. So this is why I want to ask you this question. What are your thoughts? Tell me your thoughts a little bit on Azili's sort of reinventing himself as a 2v2 player, and from what you've watched of him, what makes him so good in 2v2?
I mean, a lot of it's communication and getting along with your teammate, but like shot calling. And I'm sure he does the majority of it because he's been a great 2v2 everywhere he's went. I mean, I think probably like historically across CRLs, I think the best 2v2 players ever are him and why am I drawing the fanatic Faye.
Faye. Oh yeah, no question. Faye is
him and Faye. And then early on, I would say maybe me, but certainly not. I'm not active. Neither is Faye, but I think Faye could have done better in recent seasons if he had decided to.
Yeah, I mean, Faye was the winningest 2v2 player when he decided to retire and focus on school. Made it on the right-hand side. Good for Michi Foo. Gonna rocket that one off for an even trade. Heal Spirit does nothing. Yeah, Faye was the winningest 2v2 player coming out of 2019. And then chose to take a break or retire to focus on school. Big Walmart connection now for Michi Foo. But people,
I think a lot of people. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
People just forget how many different partners Faye was dominant with over the course of 2 seasons.
Well, I think that's another thing is even though it's 2v2, a lot of the times one person kind of leads it. Like for SSG, I mean, while the RF is the better 1v1 player, being the better 1v1 player doesn't mean you're the one that's the reason 2v2 is doing well. Yeah.
I think people do, like, you know, we talked about AC quite a bit on this stream because people do bring him up often. But I think people don't really, I think they severely underestimate the value that Akrat brings to Space Station because he's not out there getting big 1v1 wins. And kind of underestimate how valuable he is as being one half of the winningest 2v2 duo in CRL Western history.
And then I'm sure, like, I mean, it's probably, I'd say, yeah, Allcrap focuses a bunch on it. I assume Zillies does too. When I was on our team, I was the one that focused on it mainly. What are the others that focus mainly on it? I mean, those are the ones that have had the most success consistently. Is like Samsung, and then like whoever Zillies is on. So like Queso has done. Well, Queso did really well too. So I assume. I think they have less of a specialist though, and kind of work on it more together.
Yeah, assuming that's where Azili's kind of did his reimagine as a 2v2 player, and of course, Ian Boofmack pairing up this season has been excellent with Tribe Gaming. The one player we didn't see very much of is the guy right now fighting for game number 3. Gonna lose it most likely here. That rocket won't finish it. There you go. Tornado does it. And is TNT, who we really did not see much at all during the CRL season, and you understand why with Azilis and Boofmack pretty much going perfect in 2v2, and then of course JupiterKing, the way he played in 1v1 sets.
Yeah, and TNT is really good. Like I said, Tribes Roster is real talented. And like I said too, this matchup is a small sample size. I do feel like, and both times we've seen it with pros, that I feel like the Bomb Tower deck has quite a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really worried about King Tower activation, so you saw there Michi Foo NATOing to one side.
I think that's the play too. Maybe people don't know to do that, is you just give up King Tower so that you can put them all in the same lane.
Well, they think about it as being a minor deck, but again, like this deck, when you're up against 3M, you're going to get, as we saw, Michi Foo getting more damage from wall breakers, and then if you want to get that 3M to the one side early, then you're getting some rocket value on tower as well.
But, I mean, the 3M, if you don't NATO them together, certainly could be annoying. But, yeah, just doing the NATO, I think, is the big main play there.
Yeah, and again, those of you guys looking at chat, talking about this matchup data, it's what we're talking about right now is that, you know, the average player throws off this data when it comes to seeing two top-tier pros like Michi Foo and TNT playing it versus some guy who is worried about a King Tower activation playing a minor deck in this situation. So here we go. Fisherman is the ban for Michi Foo. NATO now the ban for TNT. Let's go ahead and jump into our next game. Michi Foo with match point against the former OGN Entis star.
I'm excited to see Mugi in Asia.
Yeah, you're pretty pumped about it?
Yeah, I mean, online he could be said to be like one of the best ever.
So looking like it, I mean, this can't be. Is it really 2.6 for Michifu?
Yeah, I mean, he likes cycle decks, so it's not too surprising. We'll get to see the classic Lava versus 2.6 matchup. It is. Ooh, the way the Ice Golem didn't die there was really unfortunate. The game's already over. Never mind. We don't get to see much. It doesn't look like.
GG tower down, and
I think this version, specifically the bats from the Night Witch make this a harder matchup than like traditional. Like Lava Loon would be much easier. Actually, traditionally, like if you were like the old Lava Loon, I think 2.6, like top ladder, like 2.6 has almost an even matchup, but not with this version of Lava.
Yeah, trying to battle back into it is Michifu, but
and it's like a fireball bait deck.
Pretty big uphill battle for him. So does TNT just play defense here, or does he Lava again into this lane?
You have to Lava again, because if you only play defense, he's definitely going to take tower by getting fireballs on like barbs or something. You have to set up Lava. You could go same lane though and just build the push off of it.
Maybe 2 hog shots here. Maybe a third one coming in. Nope, 404. And there you see Lava now on the counter push here for Michifu.
Yeah. I think he also could have just set up a Lava in the back and then Night Witch.
Oh, and the missed fireball on the flying machine.
Well, that'll certainly do it.
If it wasn't over before, it certainly is now. Gonna be a healthy whole lot of everything on tower. Fireball goes in one side, barbs slide on into Michifu. Yeah, play that song, Piano Man.
I mean, Michifu didn't play that exceptionally. He didn't play that really well either, but that matchup's hard.
So TNT evens things up going to game number 5. In this round of 16 matchup.
I feel like given the way he played that, 2.6 was not a good choice. But also maybe he's like, it's one of those things where like they see the matchup and then they make bad plays because they're not focused anymore.
Also, you got to wonder about just playing 2.6. Let's just also be there.
Why play 2.6?
Yeah. If you want to play Hog, there's some pretty good Hog options. But
yeah, Hog Earthquake with Inferno Tower certainly would be better.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been a thing.
I mean, that's still a bad matchup, but not as bad, maybe. I don't know. Barbs would be hard to get through.
Yeah, 2-2 here. Michifu giving up the lead with an interesting deck choice. So we've seen some pretty classic decks here. We've seen Ice Rocket and 2.6 out of Michifu so far. One went very well.
Classic. I mean, their decks he's probably comfortable with. I would assume that's why he's playing them. I mean, I know he's comfortable with Ice Bow.
So looking for game number 5. Remember, the bands are Tornado and Fisherman. Winner will go on to face Bassotto, a.k.a. Samuel, a.k.a. defending North American CRL champion. All right. In our next round.
Whoop.
Whoop, whoop. And then, of course, after that, we have one more top 16 match remaining. The main event, you would say, at the top 16. The God RF up against JupiterKing. But coming up next, coming up right now, game 5, TNT and Michifu.
Oh,
yuck.
He didn't have native on cycle, I assume.
E-Golem first play and Hog right into that lane.
Oh boy. That's what you get for going E-Golem.
Yep.
I feel bad. And the Night Witch went in front. I thought when he played that Night Witch, it seemed like weird positioning.
Oh, misses one bat with the snowball. Not going to be a big issue, though. And yeah, that's getting locked down.
Pretty perfectly played, though, because it let the Musketeer beat up on the Inferno Drag. That's probably game.
And Hog's going to get at least 2, maybe 3 shots here. Does get a third, and that Battle Healer getting shredded by the Musketeer, who stops just outside of Princess Tower range. Huge value Musketeer. And chat certainly happy to see TNT come out to a big lead here.
Yeah, I don't know why he oh, so he doesn't have NATO in this version, but still I don't know about the Eagle in first play in the back.
Lumajek, who you asking for? For my best finish? Or are you talking to somebody in the chat? Oh, you're talking to Hardway. Yeah, guys. I guess I can't stop chat from me talking to each other, but guys, be nice to each other. How about that?
Little Musketeer.
And Michi Foo now setting up Eagle in the opposite direction, and
He should just set up bomb tower.
yeah.
Yep.
There goes the bomb tower, and Michi get a sack tower and hope that he can load up everything on the left-hand side. Has it worked before? Yes. Should we see a kite here? Also as well.
Those are pretty good skellies.
Ugh, it's a rage version.
Weather the storm.
Man, Eagle and Battle Healer rage. This is just gross. Can you get past it? Another bomb tower, bomb tower, bomb tower. Where is
So
it?
hard to defend, dude.
There you
I
go.
don't think he doesn't defend this. His breaks through, I think. Yep.
Get something. Oh my god, this is so gross.
Actually, I think he's gonna get 3 crowned.
Oh my god, it's the worst.
Or he'll take this tower. I don't think he stops this.
Oh no. Ugh. Ugh.
It's like, it's so hard without like a rocket or something. It's so hard to defend the all-in push. And he couldn't go opposite lane because what's he going for? The 3 crown with a hog? That's not gonna work.
Hey, Rose in the chat. Good to see you, bud.
I mean, short of having like your own NATO or something, or like a rocket on defense, I don't know what you do there.
Oh my god. That's just one of the worst things I've seen happen.
Okay, yeah, it does. With a decent sample size, it does say Eagle has matchup. I mean, bomb tower's nice, but you don't really have a way of killing the support.
Ugh. Guys, if anyone needs anything like emotional support after seeing that, or a shower or whatever, just go to Colton's house. He's somewhere in Texas. Just go to where the hill country starts and then keep walking.
I don't live in anywhere near a hill.
That's what I said. Keep walking. Oh,
no,
man,
I certainly
guys.
think
Not like
yeah,
this.
that matchup.
Can we-
And I mean, I trust those stats. I don't see how you stop that push. Like you lose a tower early. Usually bomb tower decks have like decent matchup, but usually bomb tower decks have NATO, and this deck doesn't. So like, what do you do against all in push there? He didn't really defend badly, and there's no like big spell to help kill stuff.
If you guys want to see a look on my face, this is what it is right now. It's just kind of like, But guys, guess what we have now? JupiterKing, the God RF. This is the match we're all here to see. Let's go. This will feel a lot better.
Is this the last match?
This is the last match of the round of 16. Of course, I'm continuing on to the finals today. I'll be here the whole way through. But
I'll have to end on this one.
yeah, hey dude, it's been great having you here. And of course, for those of you watching this on YouTube, I'll put Colton's stuff in the comments or in the description below.
I'll be posting again eventually.
Ooh, look at that.
Eventually. All right, so we were seeing 3 Musk, probably Royal Hogs for JupiterKing, and RF is going Hog Earthquake probably. Looks like it.
So bomb tower good for the Royal Hogs. What's the game plan here for the 3 Musketeers for RF?
That is going to be some damage from the Musketeers. I mean, you're going to have to like either like snowball log them or drop a knight on them. I actually think this is probably a little bit better for JupiterKing because there's no fireball from RF. I think it'd be a world way different if a fireball was there. But with Earthquake as your spell, you don't really have a way to deal with the 3 Musketeers all that well. So they supply a lot of pressure. And as the Hog player, if you get a one tower low, you just start dropping the 3 Musketeers towards that tower. Something you could see him do is maybe he'll like try to play full defense and like spell cycle everything, like you can see there, and he could do that against the 2 Must side as well. But wait, oh yeah, King Tower activation certainly early on is very nice for JupiterKing as well.
So first 2 minutes away, JupiterKing currently ahead. The Tribe Gaming player out of South Korea. Personal best on ladder, 85.73. And so far in his competitive career at this level, has been very impressive. 70% win rate in No Tilt League Special Edition, the top win rate. 23 wins and 10 losses. And then a great rate overall in CRL West this season. 67% win rate, 8-4. And was even better before going into the playoffs, where he ran into Space Station Gaming and was not quite able to hold on to the same level in that crazy, crazy matchup against Space Station. And talk about the last time these two met, it was RF 2-0ing JupiterKing to send it to the King of the Hill, where Samuel then went and completed the reverse sweep with a King of the Hill sweep of his own to send Space Station on to the finals, where they went on to, of course, win the Western Championship.
These fishermen from JupiterKing are really on point to pull the Knights off. Not that much RF can do except for like bring through skeletons, but they've been very good. Again, RF may be able to win off of this.
That's a well-timed hog, a very well-timed hog, huge damage.
His hogs have been perfect. He's been playing them exactly the same time JupiterKing is 3Ming. Without doing that, he wouldn't have any damage at all. But it'll see if he can weather the storm on this defense. This will be what decides it, I think, because he can get hog damage, but he has to defend first.
The two on the left side, that's too much,
and it is enough. It's like defend that push, you win. Don't defend it, you lose. But it's so hard for RF to defend those 3 musketeers without like a fireball.
Yeah, that was a lot. Trying to hold on to the pigs in the middle, but just it felt like he was 2 elixirs shy of dealing with the musketeers in both lanes at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So game number 1, going to JupiterKing. Getting some revenge here potentially over the God RF for that big swing in the CRL semifinals from this last Western season in spring. And the ban for RF will be Royal Hogs. So
I'm wondering if as the hog player there, I don't know how if you should try to like spell cycle them. I don't know if that would work though, because I think that would take all 3 spells. So
yeah, but even
the
then,
3M.
Yeah, and then you're spending 7 on 6 just for one side.
I mean, the Hail Spirit's pretty brutal. Like it keeps stuff alive longer than you would like it to. But those maybe it'd be a little bit better for RF if he had been blocking the fisherman from pulling the Knight across the bridge.
Here we go. Oh, one little second here. Hi guys, and now let's jump into our next game. JupiterKing up 1 against the God RF. Why does it say Anaban / DiegoE King Alejandro? Because they did not get their round of 32 match in beforehand, and they had to get it in today, right before our top 16.
We see it's looking like...
I bet you that Jupiter's playing Lava.
Yes, I agree.
That's what I would guess.
RF could be playing like an RG, maybe?
Could be with Ewiz, though. It looks a little bit like it. I don't know. That's so weird.
We've seen something like that today that had Ewiz, and I think we actually saw this exact matchup earlier. Well, Fisherman certainly ain't doing much right there.
And a lot of
That's
fireball value. Yep.
Ooh, the 1 elixir Inferno Direct finished off the Ewiz too.
Well-timed miner. Hunter comes out to pick up the damage from the pups, but still going to get the lead to JupiterKing. A first minute away, 20:54 to 19:37.
This is definitely RG, I think. We saw the same matchup earlier. Or at least, maybe the Lava Hound's different, but otherwise it was pretty similar.
It's all a blur to me. I've just seen Elixir.
I wonder if he tries a tower trade or something. No other reason. You have to go with the Fisherman at this point, yeah. Fireball?
Nope.
He should have Fireball. He decides not to, I guess.
He's going to defend 1 more and then go for it. And here we go, balloon in behind the Lava Hound.
Could have been that he wanted to save it for defense.
So why send the miner to the back corner there rather than go to the hunter? Because it's predictable to go to the hunter?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, or you just want tower damage. The hunter probably accomplishes his job before he dies, maybe. Oh, so he has poison. That would make sense. I mean, he's going same lane, which he doesn't really want to have to do. This goes in front. That's bad. Wait, what?
What a kite with those skellies. What a kite.
That was weird. I almost thought the Inferno Drag was going to go back behind the Lava Hound, but he needs to just kite it with RG maybe? Like kite the barbs back?
Something for these barbs. Nope. Oh, the E-Wiz comes in last second.
Now he goes RG. It's going to be behind the E-Wiz. Yep.
The E-Wiz wanders right in front.
He didn't have the elixir in time. Does that block though? No.
Oh man, that E-Wiz could have been huge. Poison in, but that's going to be most likely a GG here. JupiterKing with a huge downhill push, 395 left-hand lane. Hunter trying to stop it, Heal Spirit trying to help. No way, no how, and that's going to be tower down. JupiterKing up 2-0 on the God RF.
So you know when he went skeletons to kind of delay the barbs a little bit? I don't know if he had RG back in cycle, but if he had just played RG at the bridge and kited them back while they were still in poison, maybe that would have been enough. Because then the RG would have been in front of the E-Wiz. But I don't know if he had RG back in cycle.
So a GG well played there. JupiterKing 2-0.
Super close.
A chance at getting the full 3-0 sweep. Royal Hogs are still the only ban. And yeah, RF made it close. And if that E-Wiz doesn't go in front of the Royal Giant, maybe things are different. If he plays the Royal Giant up ahead, as you talked about kiting, maybe things are different.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, it was insanely close.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very, very close one overall. And now we're going to game number 3. RF needs a reverse sweep here against JupiterKing to move on. Delu saying, I submitted the forms to become Rich Slayton Jr. Well, send me your ID later to verify. And then you can get none of my inheritance. It all goes to Colton, who has jumped over my son. Sorry, baby boy Slayton. But I'm getting it out of the family. That's the plan.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he could have just E-Wiz and not played. Yeah, I don't know. I think he probably played it the right way.
Fisherman smelly drags to the right-hand lane. Poison in response early from JupiterKing. JupiterKing's best finishes on ladder. 4th and 2nd. Also at a global tournament number 3 to that list overall. RF still looking for that first official, or for that first #1 ladder finish. Got 2nd this year, and make that 10 total finishes in the top 10.
Here's a graveyard deck I've seen Jupiter use before. Similar to the one Morton used earlier.
This one's pretty. This one's. I feel like this one's always the number 3 to 5 graveyard deck that people are using.
Yeah.
Right, it always kind of hovers right in there, in that range.
I feel like it comes down to preference. Some people prefer the Archer's version. It's always like a kind of weird off-meta one. And we see the RG deck for the 5th time.
Yeah, it's around. People play it.
It's pretty good.
Although this one, without the E-Wiz.
Yeah. There's just slightly different versions. Does this RG get 1 hit? Maybe 2 because of the Heal Spirit. Only 1. JupiterKing is very, very good with this deck, though, so we'll see if he can pull out a win.
So if you're writing a dossier on what makes these two players good, right? What makes, let's start with JupiterKing. What makes JupiterKing good? What are the things that he does that other people aren't doing?
I think his his micro is some of the best. Like, I feel like watching his matches, he makes really good small, like those skeletons just then on those skeleton drags, not allowing them to get any hits when I thought they were definitely going to get one. And then for RF, I feel like his deck pool is really, really good.
Talking about in terms of depth and unpredictability, or what do you mean in terms of his deck pool?
He plays lots of different decks well, I guess. And then Graveyard exceptionally well, obviously. I mean, that's what you want from like all pro players. But I feel like everyone has like a sort of smaller depth pool, and his seems almost always really, really large.
One thing you do see is that not only is he able to play a wide deck pool, but even within his favorite archetype, Graveyard, he can play so many different variations of it and play them well. Someone the other day
That's true.
banned Poison against him, trying to, I think, give a ban that would ban Graveyard, but also ban further around. Right, kind of reduce the deck pool overall. And RF decided in Game 4, he just went, okay, well, I'll go Graveyard Freeze then. You're not going to stop me.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, there's a bunch of different graveyards that have different matchups against different things. But, like, if you're like a log bait player, for instance, you can pretty much counter all log bait decks universally with, like, 2 small spells. So, I think it has more room for variance that can make it have different matchups and different scenarios.
Final minute 30. RF in the lead in this particular game, but JupiterKing does have match point overall.
This little bridge fight is looking pretty good for Jupiter, though.
And now RG down one more time for RF. Snowball into Heal Spirit always feels like it should work, and then you remember that it doesn't.
The Hunter there not living was big. No shots. He was able to fully defend. It actually is kind of good for him, maybe, with that. Or does his Hunter die? Yeah. We'll see. I think he's still in it here. He has to go for a graveyard at some point. I think it's going to be soon. Yeah, he's looking to go for it right now.
Good fireball high out of RF to stop anything from coming
But
across.
see, this Mega Minion could... Okay, he has to block Mega. I don't know. Maybe it sneaks a shot in? Nah, not quite. It kills both Skeleton Drags, though, which is almost the same. I think RF just lost, maybe.
Yeah, that fireball cycle might have been a little bit much here.
Even like another fireball log doesn't kill. It's just wasted elixir. I mean, he kind of has to go for it, but yeah.
And Jupiter.
I don't know. Did he have to? I think maybe he tries to go RG there, not fireball.
Yeah, that fireball was interesting. And there you go, JupiterKing with a 3-0, getting some revenge on the God RF, and moving on to our next stage in the AMG Cup. Wow. Unbelievable. Let's take a look at the stats from that last one. And what do you think? Is that matchup data accurate, inaccurate?
It's hard to say, right? Because it's like, oh, it has matchup at 8 out of 8 cards, but then 7 out of 8, it's the other, or no. Yeah, it's saying RG has matchup in the exact matchup, but then it doesn't in 7 out of 8 cards. I think it's close to 50-50, probably. I think that could have gone either way.
So here we go. Let's take a look at the quarterfinal bracket overall. And as you can see, Leo Vargas going to be facing off against JupiterKing in our next round. Reichert versus DiegoE on that side of the bracket. And then on the right-hand side, Michi Foo and Bassotto. Samuel and Michi going head-to-head. And then SaintBelikin against SergioRamos. So a very, very interesting lineup here for the quarterfinals. Is this sort of, I mean, obviously there are a couple big surprises here. Looking at this one right now, do you feel like this is JupiterKing's event to lose at this stage?
I mean, after how dominant he was in that performance, I think yes. Yeah, there were some surprises. But I mean, especially like JupiterKing's side of the bracket looks easier, I would say. Like you have all the CRO players on the right side, and then only one DiegoE, and he's not exactly like a superstar, although a very solid player.
Yeah, the right side of that bracket looks really, really nasty. And then yeah, that left-hand side, Reichert could make a run of it. Leo Vargas has been outperforming expectations throughout this tournament, and of course DiegoE just took out Morton. So. And Anaban, don't forget that as well. So a good chance there for him. We're going to keep on with the stream and going on through the rest of this tournament, guys. But if you are watching on YouTube, that's going to be the end of our top 16. Thanks so much for watching. You can find Colton at ColtonW83_ on Twitter, and I'll put a bunch of the rest of his links in the show notes below. And, of course, links to the next stage, or to the round of 8 and beyond in the show notes and at the end of this as well. So if you haven't yet, go ahead, subscribe right around here. So like the video, and of course watch the next one, part 2, I guess next part, quarterfinals coming up next. And thanks a lot to Colton for joining, and thanks you guys for watching over on YouTube. I'll see you guys for the quarterfinals.